to Derailed. I am your host, JJ Lahey, here with my good friend, the Draft Robot. Welcome, Jake Schyvinck. Thank you for joining us today.
It's good to be here. It's good to be inside. I'm sick of the heat outdoors. But again, one week closer to football. So there you go.
Yeah, we escaped the heat as well and watched some old Packers highlights, and that made it go a little bit easier. But man, we got a full slate today. It's going to be a blast. We are going to be ranking Packers players, and I think before we do that, we have to discuss a bit of what that means. Right?
Yeah.
How are we ranking them? I kind of wanted to take the guys who we think, presumed to be starters, key players, guys who are going to see a lot of snaps, as well as backups who are likely to be playing. And then kind of compare those against the rest of the league. It's kind of what I had in mind. I thought we'd rank them into tiers. And the point of all this is to give us yet another way to talk about the Packers roster, which, let's be real, it's the best thing to do this time of year, especially ahead of all of the training camp stuff that we're going to get to watch. And I think that if you don't set expectations ahead of time, you can't then look back and make a fair assessment of what goals were achieved. Right. So I think for that reason, taking stock of where we're at beforehand is worthwhile. Too old for this changed his display name to Too Full of Youth for this. I hate it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well,
he says I rank Derailed as my favorite live show. I mean, I'm glad we're your favorite anything, but secretly I was hoping we were your favorite show, period, let alone live show.
No, I'll take favorite anything, honestly.
I also just don't know how many live shows you listen to. So, maybe this is, we are your favorite by default because you don't listen to any others. I don't know. How many
I would take favorite things to have on in the background, even. I would gladly accept that too.
Do you listen to podcasts, Jake?
Yep.
Are you a podcast consumer? I have. Let me
not
check.
A lot,
I got
but a few.
I use the app Podcast Addict. Let me see here. No, I don't want your announcement. I am subscribed to 71 podcasts.
Oh, wow.
I would say maybe like 15 of those I don't listen to very often.
Okay.
So there's a lot in there that I keep up on all the time. And very few of them are football. None of them are NFL. They are the football ones I do consume are all college.
Okay.
And honestly, it's because there's so many freaking teams in college that it's too much work for me to go keep up on everything that's happening with the teams that I care about in college on my own. And so I go find the beat writers who are working the hardest for, whoever, Notre Dame, Oregon, whoever, the teams I want to keep up on and tune into them. So that's what I do there. Too old for this says nobody hates it more than me. Yeah. Love us, hate us. A minute ago you said we were your favorite live show. Now nobody hates us more than you.
No, he's talking about his name change. For sure.
I don't know why you changed your name, man.
It's 100% what he's talking about.
He says,
it's a guarantee.
The chat of PTA found out I was the youngest one and they wouldn't stop giving me heck.
Wow.
You brought that on yourself. It's too old for this.
Can't go around saying things.
Listen, if you are self-conscious about something, you have two options. Option number one is you make fun of it yourself before anybody else can.
True.
All right. That's what I'm so self-conscious about my dashing good looks that I make fun of them so that you guys won't make fun of me for being so handsome.
There you go.
United Bates says, "Hey fellas, hey United Bates, thanks for tuning in." So the chat's starting to fill up, which is nice. This means we can get going on some of the stuff we want to do. Chris the Casual N says, "Good evening, y'all."
Good evening.
Go Pack Go. Chris, what is? I'm terrified to ask. So your display name is the Casual N. What does that mean? I
Thought
feel
he's been Chris N for many a time though. Before the name change as well.
yeah. N
So I don't know.
It's got to be the first initial of his last name.
I would think so.
He says casual fan. All right.
Casual
all right.
fan.
We got Prince Capsaicin in the chat. Prince, glad to see you joining. Happy to have you here. Don't this Mr. Know Nothing. Hold on a second. Let me see here. Let me change this. This is important. Mr. And I gotta capitalize it the way he did. Know Nothing. Ready? There we go.
Boom.
Change my my title, Mr. Know
Boom.
Nothing. I love this. This makes me so happy.
There you go.
Yes, I am clearly self-conscious about my ripped muscles. I am. You know, here's the thing. This is all dad strength. This is from carrying my kids around. All right.
There
I
you
got
go.
pretty beefy arms.
Dad strength. Do you have dad back at all? Has that set
What's
in?
dad back? What's dad back? Is that
Usually like lower back
issues?
pain. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. So I just got long-term disability insurance. Like I applied for a policy. I'm not like claiming anything. I just applied for the policy in case something happens to me, right?
Yeah.
And so they did this big medical evaluation of me and everything. And they came back and they said, we're going to have to put an exception on here for mid back pain. I'm like, the heck are you talking about? I have no history of mid back pain. But they put that on there. They said we have to exempt mid back pain for the first year of your policy, and at that point we can revisit. I don't even have any theories as to what this is from.
Interesting.
I don't know what I did that flagged them, made them nervous about it. Like I went to a chiropractor, a few years ago.
Okay.
For some back pain, but apparently that's enough to get you exempted. So I don't know. My back pain is mid. It says too full of youth fits. I'm not going to call you too full of youth fits. That's stupid. You know why it's stupid? Because it's longer. All right. Too old for this rolls off the tongue. Too full of youth for this is a mouthful.
Well, I hope you can change it in time for Ed Policy Day.
So
That's
that is the biggest thing we had discussed is what are we doing? Like, I think Jake and I kind of know what we're doing for Ed Policy Day next week. So next Monday, remember, Ed Policy Day is the last
I'm not coming
Monday
into the
in June.
office.
So next week, we are not going to be here for our normal, regularly scheduled Tuesday programming. We're going to be on here the day before, which is Ed Policy Day. Last Monday in June. And you guys better show up. If we have low numbers for Ed Policy Day, I'm going to freaking delete the channel. All right?
You at least need to pop in and say what you're doing to celebrate. If I don't see any of that and I don't see a celebration in the chat, maybe we'll just take a week off, I guess. I don't know. Something to think about.
Chris is celebrating by quitting his job.
Something to think about
today. Good man. I'm proud of you.
This is what we need. Ed Policy Day and July 4th. Same week. Both weekdays. Take both off. Simple. 3-day week next week.
Did you order your fireworks?
I don't have to order them.
Or did you already have them on stock?
I can just drive 15 miles and grab some.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't have to do a whole lot.
I got my spotted cow. I'm going to cook up my brats. So Ed Policy Day in style.
I'm bringing the short ribs. I'm going to eat some live on the show, I think.
That's excellent.
Will there be redacted energy at Ed Policy Day?
Speaking of redacted energy, okay, I'm drinking a can. I got to open it.
Okay.
How confused do you think new viewers of this show are when they hop in?
I don't know.
Talking about redacted energy.
You know,
Ed Policy
join,
Day.
well, if they don't know about Ed Policy Day, I mean, that's tough. That's tough. We'll have to
I'm just
set
gonna let
things
Darth
right there.
Vader speak for us. They will join us or die.
There you go.
But speaking of redacted energy, I sent a letter to the company who is not going to be named until they sign us. I told them, I'm like, you can sponsor us for $1. Not like $1 per episode, just $1. All right. You can sponsor us for $1.
Perfect.
Maybe toss $1 in there for Jake as well. And
not required, but always appreciated.
Here's what I really want. What I want is for this company who will not be named. I want to vote for this.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, they
Why
better
is
not.
That good? Who knows?
I want
Who
redacted. I want redacted
Mm-hmm.
to sponsor my weekly redacted. That's all I want. Just send me a redacted can each week. That's all I want. I want to not have to pay for this can that I drink live on air every week. But honestly, do that, and I will reveal the logo. You guys, you have no idea what brand this is. Nobody knows. This is one of the, it's one of the great mysteries in life. Like, where's Jimmy Hoffa buried? What logo is on this can that JJ drinks every week?
Who can say?
Nobody can. Well, for this, like 3 weeks ago, you asked us to talk about the Naked Gun trailer. And so I have attempted to do something here. I've attempted to load the trailer up into our stream. I'm terrified that it might not work, but we're going to try this. What, Jake? Do you have doubts?
No, yeah, for sure. But I think we're okay.
You want me to not attempt this?
No, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Have you seen the teaser trailer for it yet?
I did see the preview for it in theaters when I watched MI8. So
okay, this is the same one. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you asking me not to play it?
Listen, you do what you. Hey, we're a few days from Ed Policy Day. Go nuts. Start the party early.
All right, so we're gonna play this for Too Old for This.
I honestly don't remember a whole lot.
This will be kicking off. This will be officially kicking off our early Ed Policy Day celebrations.
Go! Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop!
What do you want, little one?
Your ass.
That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast! That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast!
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
That's the sound of the police!
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
Sound of the police! I would never be
I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. Do you like the original Naked Guns? Have you seen those?
Oh man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
I think
I was kind of surprised. I actually didn't realize that was a thing. When I went to the theater, right?
Right. No, I was.
So that
I was
coming
totally
up, I was like,
guard.
oh, wait, what is this? Oh my gosh, it's.
It wasn't until he said Frank, and then I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the top comment on YouTube on that trailer is "Get me Leslie Nielsen." We can't. Well, get me a similar sounding name then.
Yep.
I think Liam Neeson's
that's
gonna kill
perfect. That's perfect. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
That I didn't know. Yeah.
So listen. We like to have a good time on here. We're gonna do our. Yep, he is.
Yeah, that's I mean,
do you like Seth MacFarlane, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy. I feel like there's very few people I don't enjoy, at least a little bit, in the space.
I feel like I'm kind of the opposite. Like and this shows too, like when we're talking about football players, even like we talk about almost anybody, and you're like, ooh, here's something I really like about this player, and then we list a Hall of Famer, and I'm like, he's a little overrated.
That's true.
This is why we're the perfect co-hosts for each other, all right?
Yeah.
Prince Capsaicin says Police Squad got canceled way too soon. Ooh, wait, are you new? Ron Sandville, are you new?
He's
Welcome to the chat. Really excited to have a new face in here. Feel like we get a couple new faces every single week, but I still get excited every single time. Welcome. He says special set of skills. And tool for this says Spaceballs 2 is happening. I don't know how I feel about that. You know what, man? You got two options. You can either boycott something that's coming out, or you can embrace it and be happy about it. All right. So, do you want to be happy?
I think you could actually also just be indifferent. I think that's also a possibility. I think you can do it.
You're saying you watch it and you're indifferent to it?
No, I think you just, don't bother seeing it. I don't think it's a boycott necessarily. Just kind of like, doesn't really move the needle for me.
Well, I guess that's kind of what I meant. Yeah, I didn't mean boycott it as in protest it and stand on a street corner.
Hate campaigns online, all that stuff. No, okay. You just meant we're just like
I live in this tiny town, and there's this one street corner that always has people standing on the corner with signs. Always. You can't drive by this street corner and not see some group. It's usually like 3 or 4 60-year-olds standing there with signs. Usually the signs are offensive too. Like it kind of doesn't matter what the issue is, that and it's all these different groups protesting all the time. It's totally different people, but the people who choose to stand on that corner, it's like a thing now. They feel like they have to bring like an offensive sign. So that's that's our small town culture that we have.
There you go. It's interesting.
Let's see. Ron's an OG of PTA Posse, y'all.
I've definitely seen him over there plenty. In the comments.
Happy to have you, Ron.
Shall we get to some rankings here?
I think so. You have not seen what I put together.
No.
Here's what I put together.
Different tiers. Oops. Ed Policy's face.
Here we go. It's let me take the thing up. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to just make
Fry Cook is incredible. Okay.
I think in another life I was an insult comic, or will be an insult comic, because
Fry Cook.
Here's the big question. Are these even the right tiers? Because these are pretty serious tiers.
I feel like
I had considered if we needed a special tier specifically of like this is a breakout, this is a now or never season for somebody. Like I considered do we need a tier like that?
Here's my question. Do you feel like there's what would you say your differences are for reliable starter and above average?
Yeah, so I would say that
just curious. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just wondering how that order works for you. Did not mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I think if if they get hurt and they're above average, you're like, oh dang, it's going to be a downgrade probably. If it's reliable starter and they get hurt, you're worried. All right, so maybe we're thinking something along the lines of
I was wondering if above average is like spotty starter, like up and down starter.
Well, or just like a rotational. I mean, like there's a big drop off from this above average tier to the just a guy. So like the above average, like they're not necessarily a starter is the thing. They're not a starter, but if they are now unavailable, like that is a blow to the team, especially at minimum. It's a blow to the depth.
Because like, so above, so everything is kind of, so just a guy is kind of like above average is above average relative to just a guy is what you're saying here. I'm just trying to make sure I get this because yeah, someone Ron said it feels like they could be switched. I think there is a world where people could see that very clearly and say they could be switched.
I guess,
and that's why I think like all pro, excellent, reliable starter is your quality. And then I would think like volatile starter would be kind of the orange to me because it's like, okay, he can have his moments. He can be a little bit down. Are you still worried about the depth a little bit when he goes out? Yes, because he has those, big moments, but sometimes not. Like, and then just a guy is kind of like you're floating around like average and like, you're just kind of there. And then obviously you get down to the fry cooks, which I know I'm surprised there isn't a special tier for Orzek himself. I can't believe there's not a Matt Orzek tier.
Well, I believe it or not, there is a tier on here that originally had a player's name, and then I changed it to fry cook.
Oh wow, who could it be?
I don't know, but his position rhymes with strong farter.
There you go. Does it? No. No, I don't think it does.
Strong and dapper. You know what? It's too old for this fault because he just commented this. Maybe just starter is what he wrote, and I read that as I was saying that. Fine. It's the terrorist himself, Matt Ozark.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I think that's my only wonder is about the above average thing.
So here's
like
kind of what I was
sure
trying to
understand
differentiate
that.
is like, let's say, Malik Heath or Bo Melton, right? Versus, like I'm trying to differentiate.
I feel like for me, Heath and Melton would be in the Jag category.
But like there's a gap between those guys and say trying to pick which wide receiver to put in reliable starter without like offending somebody. Like Romeo Doubs. Like would you put Romeo Doubs under excellent?
No.
Okay, so you put him under reliable starter, but like there's a significant gap between Romeo Doubs and say Malik Heath. Yes.
Right. I just wouldn't. I think so, but I just wouldn't like put. I'm trying to figure out.
What about the difference between
I'm
Ben
trying to
Sims and like
see, like, so if I were to go down, I just to just do like if you want to do receivers, just as a thing. I actually don't know who I'd put in excellent at this point in the receiver room. I feel like there's a bunch of reliable starters. I don't know what I'd do with above average, to be honest. And I would put like guys in the red or purple. Like that's where I'm trying to like figure out who I'm putting in above average because I'm trying to qualify above average relative to kind of the other spots. I don't know if like potential breakout, upside, something like that, or I'm trying to think of what orange should be if yellow stays as reliable starter because I want to make sure because I'm trying to think like who I'm putting in there. I'm like, oh, that's above average player that wouldn't be a reliable starter.
Yeah,
that's where I'm struggling with that.
Maybe
that
reliable
tier.
starter is what's not named properly.
Maybe maybe reliable starter needs like a little more juice to the name, perhaps. I don't know.
Another way to think about this is like, stacking it up against the rest of the league. So, if you are, there's a difference between when you're just going up against like, okay, this is their starting right guard. He's nothing special, but he's, started their last 30 games. Versus, okay, they are starting a guy who this is like his second game ever, and his first game kind of went okay, but you're certainly thinking this is maybe a spot to pick on him, or he's been around, has lost his job before. Now he's got it
Questionable
back.
starter.
Something like that.
Questionable,
versus
volatile.
Like
I think it'd be good to have something. I think orange and yellow having similar names, so that they're like. I think like they're worded better relative to one another. I think is the way to. This isn't bad either. Borderline starter's not bad.
This red tier should definitely be viewed as like, if this guy is starting for you, you are in trouble. Versus this purple tier is, he should not be on your roster. He is not an NFL football player. Like, there is a big difference between those two. Of, this is a guy, if he's starting for you in this game, that's a problem. But he is worth like keeping around and developing, you know. And I'm kind of thinking like, maybe this is like a
unstable starter, perhaps.
Yeah,
because like for me,
project,
I know people are
project
that could work. Like, because like I know people are starting to like think about like who's in above average, and like when I think of like if you were to say who's average at receiver on this team right now, like who's the average receiver? For me, that would be Malik Heath. I would not put Malik Heath in above average, because if I'm thinking about even the roster and also relative to the league, I don't see him as above average. He hasn't played enough. He hasn't showed me that much to where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yes, he's quite above average. Okay. I like this.
I'm changing developmental into developing because it'll fit on one line.
So like I would just put, I think Jag should just be average then.
Okay, we can do average.
I think that
and maybe we'll rename it as we go along.
Yeah.
The purple tier is important because there's some people who we specifically
sure.
want to insult. All right? Like, there's some people who deserve to be put in there.
So. Yeah.
But here's what's making me nervous about these current names, right? Is that for red, I could see, with it being like named as this, that we could be tempted to put a guy in there who is still a work in progress, but in the meantime, you can still play him. And I don't think that's what red is supposed to be. Red is like, you shouldn't play him right now, but you think he might turn into
that
something
would be
eventually.
developing. That would be
this is maybe like what Caleb Jones was for a long time, or what Josh Nijman was for the first 2 or 3 years he was with us.
That's year away from being a year away.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Because if a guy's only a year away and then you're starting him, like, there's a chance that now is his, like, this is his breakout moment, right? And this is his welcome to the NFL game, right? And this is a tier for not that. Whereas purple is, he's never going to be this. And what Brian Gutekunst, why is he still on our team, right?
So I will say, QB people
Adam
put out the
says red
QB tiers.
Is Donovan Jennings, which I think is probably accurate. Although I'm tempted to maybe slot Jennings like halfway between red and orange.
So people have done this with the QBs a lot, right? And it's kind of like, okay, if I haven't seen enough yet, you're going in like I don't know, like kind of that developmental tier where, like, you know, Bryce Young was in there even after a bad rookie season where it's like, okay, we need to see and figure that out. McCarthy would kind of be in there right now, right? Like of that tier. Who have we not seen enough of? Michael Penix would also go in there, right, as well. So you have those players who you don't know yet. Upside developmental project. Now, I found one that clusters the Power 4 starters in college, and they have next star, smaller sample but flashes of brilliance, great rushers, better passing needed, sleepers, need to see more, long shots, lower rated vets, and then freshmen, not enough snaps.
Those are fun tiers. I like those.
So that's interesting.
I'm open, by the way, if the chat wants to rename any of these tiers to like a more fun name that kind of still summarizes what the tier is. Like, drop your name suggestions in the chat. We'll definitely do it.
Now, hold on. I think you can rank guys in the draft and also understand that things can definitely change. Things change for Josh Allen, right? Very quickly, right in year 3. So, yes, I think you could maybe after year 1 put Bryce Young in the no, he's bad tier, and then he moves up. So that's fine. But again, there is a reason for guys like McCarthy where it's like, well, then you're just banking on your pre-draft thing, right? And Penix and all of that. You can still have a take, but then also as things are going on in the league, I think you can kind of adjust. So, but yeah,
Wolf says we need a separate tier called Reggie White above all pro. Here's my question to you. Who besides Ketan Oladapo would we even put in that tier?
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft, Carl Brooks, 2025 Tay Wicks, but the problem is like he hasn't gotten here yet. Like we still have 2024 Tay Wicks here.
For sure. Dan Whelan.
Ayers is asking, do we just get started? Yes, we did.
Yeah, kind of. Essentially, it's 33 minutes in, and we have not put a player on the board yet, which is
that's fine because
par for the course.
I don't have to go early tonight. We can do this justice. So let's I made little names for everybody on here because I was doing pictures and then I realized a lot of these people, we have no idea what they look like. All right.
Yeah.
Like
I couldn't tell you what Tyler Cooper looks like right now. No idea.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
JJ Lippy. Nope. No idea.
Tyler Lippy or JJ Lippy, I at least have heard of.
I have heard of, but I can't see. I can't picture him. That's for sure. Okay.
I think the cleanest way to do this is probably
start at the polar ends. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Polar ends. Oh, you're thinking alphabetically?
Oh, I mean just like we know who the fry cooks are and we know who like top of the line guys are. I'm fine with doing position.
Wouldn't it be more fun to just sprinkle the fry cooks in once in a while when we get to them?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do position. I like that.
Okay. I tend to like to start everything with quarterback. Are you okay with doing that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's grab our Canadian first.
See the other guy.
Where's our
Canadian? Man,
Taylor Elgersma, who I still don't know how to pronounce his name. And
gosh,
I think very clearly he's got to be right here.
Yes.
I mean, for starters, we still have to teach him English. All right. Right now, he just speaks Canadian, so he's got to figure out where the bathroom is. He has to learn English.
Man.
We got to finish paying our tariff.
Are we paying? Bill. Yeah, I was gonna say, are we paying monthly on that tariff bill, or like how is this going?
Well, you're supposed to pay it in all at once, but we didn't have any Canadian money.
Oh,
so
we had to go through the channels for that.
To know that we would be paying that in English, actually, or in American. Wow, I'm just an idiot tonight.
Are we paying it in gold? I don't know. Okay. Where's our other guy?
So, all right, we got Malik Heath. Who's the other depth QB? Oh, Sean Clifford.
Fry cook.
Sean Clifford. I
very sorry.
Don't think we can put him any higher than red. I don't. It feels mean to put him in purple because he holds 26? A clipboard pretty well.
Yeah, he's 26. Feels very fry cookie to me. Oh, we should have put UFL on here.
UFL. Oh, we could.
But
do we want it to be fry cook or UFL?
We can either way. I think there's similar things. We can leave it at fry cook. To me, he's probably fry cook.
This says for Taylor Elgersma, speaking English just requires him to drop the A at the end of each word. He's working on it. It is harder than you think to quit saying the A at the end of every word.
Okay. Where are we going with
Well, I'm realizing that if we're putting Taylor Elgersma on here, that means that we're putting freaking everybody on here. And do we actually want to do all 90 players?
No.
I think this has to be
should go on there.
guys who the Packers think
Elgris
will
should
play
be here.
any amount of. We can leave him on here. But
Take
going
off.
forward, like
Take the
I
big
am
red dog
not
off.
putting Cornelius Johnson on here unless you make some compelling argument.
Oh
that
no,
you think
I'm not putting
Cornelius Johnson is
no.
going to make the 53. Maybe that's what it is. Is that
Cornelius Johnson is wide receiver
Packers
Caleb Jones. For sure.
We think the Packers think that this guy is going to be potentially on a 53. Because like the Packers don't think Cornelius Johnson's on there, right? Like maybe something crazy happens in training camp, and sure enough, he ends up being wide receiver 6.
They have to trade 2 players for this to go on, and not want like Melton on the team to get like starting. But
with Malik,
I don't think we can do that.
Here's the question with Malik. With Malik, do we rank him do we grade him as a backup or as a starter? Because, like, as a backup, I mean, he's at least
we can't do
yellow.
That. No, we got to do as a starter. I think everybody has to be.
Here's the question: like, by definition, has he been a reliable starter for us? He started a lot of games for us already.
Here's my
by
problem.
definition, is he a reliable starter?
Here's my problem. When I see when other guys are going into this tier, I guess I don't know about you. All pro tier for me, I feel like there's going to be, at least in my opinion, there's very few, if any, to me, are going to be in there.
I got 2.
Okay.
2 only.
And so, like, with, I think a couple in there, I don't know. I don't know how many you have an excellent. I'm like thinking it's
pretty decent handful.
Like a handful, I feel like is a good. And then the reliable starters are going to have like players on there who I feel like have shown a lot more than Malik Willis, to me at least. That's why I just can't put him there.
Basically, if Jordan is done for the season, you don't think to yourself, we got a reliable starter in Malik. You think
he's fine.
Oh gosh, this is going to be a long season. I'm not sure how many games we'll win.
Yeah,
You're expecting
probably
better than we got from Hundley, for sure, but not
enough.
Not enough. You're not thinking playoffs anymore. You're thinking.
No, I'm thinking.
You're thinking. Can we get
Downs.
500?
Can we get Caleb Downs? That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I would be tempted to try and start Sean Clifford so we can get Jeremiah Smith.
Well, that's in the long-term plans,
yeah.
We're not supposed to be revealing those. That's in a private group chat that was not supposed to be leaked by anybody. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that.
So I know where I want to put Jordan Love. Okay, I want to. He's one of my 2 All-Pro.
Interesting. Okay.
Where do you want to put him? I'm assuming you want him in green or
probably green. I think he like toes the line between green and yellow to me. All pro
green and yellow.
All pro to me
You're gonna
is
feel
like
really silly
4
when he
QBs.
wins MVP.
All pro to me would be if I were putting like all the QBs on here. All pro would have 4 guys. That's it. No more, no less. There'd be 4 guys on there.
But Jordan is a top 5 QB for me.
All pro means elite, and elite is the upper quartile of the upper quartile, or upper half of the upper quartile, one of the 2. So for QBs, I would have 4 in the entire league up in the all pro, and then probably there aren't even 2 in each conference necessarily. There's just 2 in the entire league. I know Adam's asking about how many all pros there are. I guess it also depends on position too. Right, receiver will have a few more spots, but I would not put him in blue.
How many quarterbacks do you have ahead of Jordan Love in the NFL?
Probably 7 at least, I would say.
Really?
Yep, for sure. No question.
Because I have Mahomes and Allen, obviously. Although Allen is he's up and down at times.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he has other than the turnover-worthy plays, like it's elite. Jordan, I will say what Jordan has done in like EPA per play, and then obviously the sack avoidance, right? The pressure sack, like really good numbers for him. They're really good. But
So the third QB I would have ahead of Jordan is Lamar.
mm-hmm.
And the only other guy in any consideration for me is going to sound silly, but it's just due to the just consistency. And it's Baker. But I don't think I put him ahead of Jordan. It's like he's like neck and neck for me with Jordan.
Okay.
And there's not anybody I don't have anybody else who's in that conversation.
Gotcha.
Do you have guys like Jared Goff ahead of Jordan Love?
Yeah, that's the tight one. And I remember we did the NFC North list and we kind of talked through that one. That's a tight one. I think 8 through 12 could all be kind of. You could probably rotate them around for me.
Burrow, if he could stay healthy, and like he had a bad year last year. But from a talent perspective, he's certainly definitely in the same tier as Jordan. Jordan, I think, has just been much more consistent than Burrow over these past 2 seasons. But I certainly would not have any problem with somebody ranking Burrow ahead of Love. That would not offend me in the slightest.
Gotcha.
Would you have Hurts ahead of Jordan?
No.
So who you got then?
We're not doing this. We're gonna be here for 5 hours. We got to get to the rest of these guys.
Yeah, but this is QB1. What if we agree not to do this at any other position except for QB?
I feel like we're turning into all of the other talk shows to rank quarterbacks.
Fine.
Just saying.
I'll let you chicken out of this one. All right, you heard it from me. I got Jordan as QB4 in the NFL. Behind, you'll note 3 guys who happen to have won MVP. So there's that. All right, so that's quarterback. I moved Sean Clifford down to Fry Cook because I just realized that we can't not have him in a Fry Cook. You hold a good clipboard, but I can't let you can't go out in the field. All right. By definition.
I agree. I agree.
And like, do I have any
100%.
expectations of Taylor Elgersma? I mean,
No.
Not until he learns English. But no.
No.
Do I mind
But
developing
it's a fun
him?
thing to put on there.
I don't mind developing him. Do I want him to make the 53? Heck no. Are you okay with doing running back next?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's grab where's Marshawn? Marshawn Lloyd. Here we go. So where do we want to put Marshawn? We've seen
Probably
zilch
there.
from him.
Probably there.
Think he belongs in red right now?
I think so.
Makes me want to
I
take
think
Taylor
so.
off
Yeah,
the
that's
chart.
fine. I think you can. You could probably take Clifford off too, if you
All right.
feel like you.
Clifford's
must.
not making the 53.
Yeah, we'll just take him off. There's a lot.
These
of
3 guys
spaces we're gonna-
are all making the 53, and the Packers
Correct.
should expect them to.
correct. That's what we should do. You can put them on there, right, and be like, they're this, but they're not making 53, and then just pull them off. I think that works. I think that's a good way to do it. I like
On top
that.
of that. Okay, Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Average?
a good spot. Yep, I feel like that's a good spot for him.
for him.
I think it's.
Do you
And again,
expect
I
him to
think
make 53 this year?
yes, and I think the other thing to mention is that I think we have expectations that Lloyd will jump Wilson. Should we do these rankings next year, right? I think that is, you put him in the development project, but then, like Adam says, I think you could also have a take of like, I kind of expect Lloyd to jump ahead, right? So,
Well, and it's not even, it's expectation, but it's also like hand in hand with expectation is, if you don't achieve this, do we consider it a disappointment? If Marshawn Lloyd can't jump Emmanuel Wilson, is there anybody out there who would say that that's not a disappointing season for Lloyd? No.
right,
He's a 3rd-round pick.
right, 100%.
So I would put Josh Jacobs in excellent. Do you agree with having him that high?
Yes, I think that's a good spot for him. Yes.
Okay.
I think he has clearly shown it. I think he showed that 2023 was kind of a like, this is my holdout. Didn't, ramp up, with the team to start with and kind of had a sluggish year. Team wasn't as good as the year before type of thing where it was like, okay, no, he found maybe not quite the 2022 him, but again, as I remember talking about, like if he found we talked about 80-85% of that, like we were going to be really thrilled with it. And
I think you did find that.
Yeah,
much.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Like there was no question before last season started. We were having a lot of conversations about, hey, this is a nice flexible deal where it's really a 1-year deal that has 3 team option years. And if the season goes well, we are more than happy to pick those option years up, essentially.
Yep.
And at the end of the season, halfway through the season, there was no question at all. Hey, the signing has worked out and we want to pick up those years, right?
Yep.
No question at all.
100%.
Tight end. So I think there's only 3 tight ends we actually want to rank on here. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Or do you want to do more?
I don't think we have to do more. Maybe if the chat talks us into it, certainly. But
it would be nice to keep more than 3 tight ends this year because the Packers like keeping 4. And the last couple of years, they have not had 4 quality tight ends to keep.
Yeah.
So Ben Sims, we put him in average.
Yeah, I think so.
If Ben Sims is starting a game for you, are you nervous? Like if Kraft is out and Musgrave is Musgraving.
Oh.
And you got to lean on Sims for the whole game.
What I will say is I have no problem leaning on him as an inline player, right? As a replacement. Where I would struggle to be, confident is him providing the value in the passing game that I think we all believe Tucker Kraft can do, right? And so that's where I wouldn't put him any higher. It's like, yes, I think he can take care of some things, but I don't think he is the, going to do enough to be like, oh yeah, he can do enough to replace what I think Kraft provides you.
So you want Ben Sims in average then?
Yeah, I think that's fine, especially if we have like Willis there and Wilson, I feel like that's a fine spot to have him.
So this is going to be an interesting one. Luke Musgrave, where do we put him? Because you are like as close to being completely out on Musgrave as is possible to be without putting him in fry cook. I feel like
correct. I think we're like, reaching like maroon levels right now. Between red and purple, just kind of like for me, it's like, boy, I don't. It's just. I don't know what we're gonna get, other than what I think we have like kind of talked about, like what he can do. So. I just don't. I think like if you're putting different expectations for him on what he does as a tight end, like in this day and age of like there's some guys tight end universities kicking off, and some people are like, why is Dalton Kincaid not there? And it's like, well, he hasn't really learned how to play tight end. He's a big receiver, and some people, Panthers fans, going like, man, why is Tremble there? Yada, yada. And Jatavian Sanders isn't there. Well, Jatavian Sanders is a big receiver. Why is Harold Fannin not there? Well, Harold Fannon's a big receiver. Like, I feel like you have to do both now. And I can't wait, because I know there's people hyping up the tight end class for next year. Can't wait to go in and see them only playing receiver and go, well, what am I supposed to do here? You can hype them all you want in college. You want to play real tight end? You better block. So I don't know what we're going to do here. Like, I get it. The injuries have hurt, but like, I just feel like he's a seam stretcher who I don't think is necessarily, I don't have the confidence he's going to figure out the other part of playing the position. So that's where I'm at personally.
I mean, we have gotten more out of Luke Musgrave already in the NFL than I thought we would. I didn't like him as a prospect even a little bit. But he's also kind of just been exactly who he was in college, which is like misses a lot of time, inconsistent, occasionally has a game or two where he just pops off and you go, "Ooh, was that all schemed or is he going to be able to keep contributing?"
Yeah.
Ayers says Musgrave has shown he can block if it's not power edges and he can win downfield. He has movement as a route runner too.
I disagree that he has movement as a route runner. I think he is one of the stiffest players in the league. Like, I just don't feel like you can ask him to turn very well. Even for a tight end, which is something. I feel like he has one gear and it's run straight. So.
We got to decide where we want to put
I'm good
Tucker
with that.
Kraft.
I think he's going to get there. I think he's going to get there, even if people don't think he's there yet. So, yeah, I'm fully in.
We're putting him in the excellent tier with Josh Jacobs. I mean, here is
If you want
an
to keep
argument
him
for putting him in
starter,
all pro. Well, here's an argument for putting him in all pro. I'm just gonna make the argument.
Okay.
There are just not any good tight ends in the NFL.
I don't know about that. I know we're going to disagree on this, which is fine.
I mean, the NFC has some good ones. You got Sam Laporta right in our backyard.
For sure.
But there, on a year-to-year basis, there have been. Let's just say when you look at all the NFL teams, there's a lot more have-nots than haves when it comes to tight ends.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty good if you got one good tight end in your roster in the NFL these days. So you want to put him in yellow for a reliable starter, Tucker Kraft?
I think you can say he's a reliable starter. I have no problem putting him in excellent either because I think he's going to get there. So
I definitely want him in excellent.
I think he's going
to especially grading him on the curve of Packers tight ends who are just never any good.
Yeah.
I mean, he is easily the best tight end we've had in a decade. It's not close.
Like, there's only
excluding Mercedes Lewis, but Mercedes Lewis was so one-dimensional.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think like even right now, is he tight end 5 in the league? Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm saying.
He's probably tight end 5 right now in the league, I think.
So ahead of him, you have Laporta.
I don't have Laporta at 1, but I have Laporta probably second.
Who's your one?
Kittle for sure. There's no question.
You got Kelsey in your top 5?
No.
Okay. So who's your 4 ahead of Kraft then?
I think just again production wise, and again one of them you could argue doesn't play tight end totally. He's playing big receiver, but he's just different. It's probably Kittle, Laporta, Bowers, and McBride. Those are the 4. And then I think again Kelsey. I think we've kind of seen what's been going on over there. For sure.
I want to commend you on your restraint because I know you really wanted to put Loveland in there already.
Yes. Oh, of course. Well, Loveland will be joining the party. Don't you worry. No, but
I'm very worried. I hate the Bears.
I know. It's annoying. Hawkinson's fine. I think Kraft is if people are saying he's ahead, that's fine based on prior history. I think Kraft passes him this year anyway. So I'm going to get even ahead of that curve. Andrews, I think, is fine as well. I think you could maybe still again make that argument because of past production.
How much does he have left in the tank, though?
That's again the question with him. I'm excited to see what happens with Isaiah Likely this year. Perhaps if Andrews is going to kind of continue that downward swing, to see what Likely is going to do in Baltimore. Seems very exciting. Can't wait to see how that goes. Goddard is fine as well. Not great, but fine. Trying to think who else. Evan Ingram is also fine.
Chat, I just want you to notice that I baited Jake into giving us all of his tight ends. He's happy to talk about tight ends, not quarterbacks. He's not going to do quarterbacks.
Everybody talks about
tight ends.
QBs. It's way more fun to do this. I'm trying to think else. Obviously, the 2 rooks. Am I missing anybody, JJ?
I couldn't believe you put Evan Ingram on there. I mean, it's 2025.
I mean, continues to catch a ton of passes. And Njoku, there's a good one. Yeah. I knew I was missing somebody. Yeah, Njoku's decent. I think Freiermuth actually might have a decent year with Rodgers throwing him the ball. Just feel like there's not a lot of other options. So you could
I
see
love
him
Moose.
have a very nice
Moose is
year
great.
up there. I'm trying to think who else I'm missing.
There's a big obvious one we're missing, but I can't think who it is.
I mean, like, I don't think I'm missing like Otten in Tampa Bay. Like, he's fine, but I'm trying to think.
No.
I mean, Ertz was in Washington, but that's kind of like, the ghost of Ertz a little bit. This division's good. Like we're like Hawkinson's still fine and is doing stuff after the injury, right? And then you got Loveland
as long as
joining the
Loveland
party.
actually plays well, then
Yeah.
all 4 North teams have a decent
Yeah.
tight end.
Which
I would guarantee there's not another division that has one on each team.
No.
Now, if Loveland does not pop off,
The Chargers
like
signed
Cole
somebody?
Kmet is not it. Don't come at me with Cole Kmet.
No. The Chargers have somebody. They signed someone. I feel like they signed somebody.
But
But
do they
even
still
then-
have?
Even then, it's Bowers, Kelsey, Ingram, and whoever the heck the Chargers have. I feel like they brought somebody in, but I could be mistaken. Anyway, even then, though, Jake Ferguson's not bad in Dallas as well. That's a good shout from Adam there.
I mean, we got Jonnu, we got Hunter Henry.
Yeah, Hunter Henry probably gets overlooked because he's.
I know who you forgot is Mike Gesicki.
That's a big receiver.
You talked about Dalton Schultz.
That boy played big receiver. Does he play tight end? But I guess you could make that kind of argument about Njoku, Ingram,
Yeah.
and Bowers. So yeah, but like I think like he
The
might
Chargers have Will Dissly, by the way.
Dissly, big Montana, yes. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm thinking of. Gadsden went to the Chargers. Yeah, that's fun. We like that though.
Do you like Tyler Higbee?
Can I backtrack on something really quick?
Yeah.
I think I would actually put Love at 7. Sorry. I know I said not in the top 7. I think I would put him at 7.
We don't care because you're not giving us your top 6.
So,
we don't care what you're.
I'll give you the top 6, but I like the tight end discussion way better.
Now you will.
Anyway.
Who's your top 6?
Let's see here. The 5 AFC guys, the classics, the Mahomes, Allens, Jackson, Herbert, Burrow, and then Stafford would be my 6th. I was trying to think of who the 7th would be, and then I couldn't come up with it because I think Brock is still in that weird thing with Love tier of like, could be, sometimes couldn't be.
I love Herbert, but I'm not putting him ahead
That's
of Love.
fine.
Not even close. And I'm
That's
also not
fine.
in Stafford.
That's fine.
Not in the year of our Lord 2025.
Totally fine.
Okay, let's do wide receiver.
Totally fine. Guess what? I am. So feast on it.
Let's see.
All right.
Wide receiver. All right, let's start with Savion here because he's going to be making the 53.
Development project.
Clearly developing project. No disagreement there. Matthew Golden, where are we? We think he's average.
Pro.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You got to put him in average. I don't think like there might be some development track there, but
Well, hold on. Give us a bold take. Like, where do you think he's actually going to end up? Like, let's
yellow.
fast forward in your mind to week 9. Is he
Yellow.
a reliable starter caliber?
Yep.
Okay, let's put him there. He doesn't have to prove himself for us to rank him where we think he's going to end up.
I like it.
Okay.
Because to me, I know you're putting Kraft in excellent, and I said I think he will be there by season's end. So yeah, that's fine. We'll put Golden in the reliable starter by season's end. I think that makes sense.
And this is about where I think Matthew Golden is going to wind up as well. Wide receiver
Yeah.
is tough to play as a rookie. Now that he's a Packer, we have to expect him to be awful next year in 2026. He'll be
that's going to be
pretty darn
difficult.
promising in 2025.
That's
awful
tough.
in 2026, and then hopefully break out in 2027. Right? Isn't that the path?
That's
the Packers wide receiver path.
You know it. Adams did that though, sort of. I feel like maybe his was a little longer on the downswing, but like as a rookie, big plays in the Patriot game, big plays in the Dallas game, right? Like was making big plays in those big moments. Like, hey, 3rd and 15, I'm running a dig route, against Dallas in the playoff game. Rodgers is zipping one to me, and I'm scoring, right? Like, so I could see it.
Too old for
Maybe
this.
that's
I
a little bit
apologize.
better.
I know this is hard to read.
Yeah.
That was Matthew Golden, who we just put in reliable starter. And then we put Savion Williams in developing project.
He said, "Who is that?" And I thought of, what is that? When he said that.
When who said that? What's that from?
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Like, there's a lot of things that people say. What is that? And
I know. Oh man. Oh gosh. Well, I'll have to find that by.
you're gonna have to now.
I know. All right.
Romeo Doubs. Certainly a reliable starter. Can we put him higher than that?
I mean,
because
the
problem is, like, the excellent version of Doubs shows up like 3 times a year. And the rest of the year, he's reliable starter.
For sure.
Worth paying.
Oh, I can't wait to see the next one for you.
Well, I don't
Unless
know
you're going to Watson.
I hadn't decided which guy to go with.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it's just gonna be whichever wide receiver's name jumps out.
Yeah.
Here's Christian Watson.
There he is.
Watson, I'm putting a reliable starter after the 2024 season.
I think that's totally fair. Yes.
Starter.
Yep.
Where
do the other two go?
So where's Taywicks? Here's
Right
Taywicks.
there.
I'm gonna put him in average, but
It's the hands. Fix them. Fix the hands.
here's the thing, and we've talked about this. We talk about this every single week.
Fix them hands.
Like the volatility is crazy. Like Wicks could easily be an all-pro if he just caught every ball that hit him in the hands. He'd be an all-pro.
The unstable compound tier. He's in it. Okay. He's in it.
Wicks is the guy, and there's another guy in here as well. But Wicks, more than anybody else, was the guy who made me think, do we need a custom tier?
Unstable compound.
We can make an unstable. Inside of you, there are 2 Syracuses.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, oops, I did that wrong.
The compound. That man is unstable.
I don't. Somebody in the chat come up with a good name for this tier. So this is like
enriched uranium.
It's like volatility.
The unstable
but
compound.
We're really optimistic.
The unstable compound for sure.
It's like breakout year. All right, something like that.
Question mark. Yeah. Yeah.
Breakout time. We're gonna put this here, and then I got to figure out.
Does anybody else?
I don't know where I want to put this though.
Just put it under average, I guess.
Vertically, we put it right here.
I think so. That's fine. I feel like there's more like. Nice.
Maybe we put it down here at the bottom, and we just kind of like have an understanding that this is actually its own new thing. It's not worse than Fry Cook. It's like list 2. What do you think?
Yes. Too old for this.
Alternatively, we could
too old
put
for this.
it
And I are on the same page all night.
in here.
He was typing enriched uranium as I said it. It's topical. It's perfect. It's very topical. Yeah, I don't mind that. I feel like reliable. I feel like in between reliable start and average is probably a fine place to put it. Oh no, First we showed a preview, and now we're doing that. Truly,
All right.
truly, you can read that two different ways. Hands are off, by the way, with Wicks. The hands are off.
That's true. That's true.
So there's a couple things going on there. I think enriched uranium is hilarious. And since two people were thinking it, you definitely should put that. Oppenheimer.
The chemical formula for enriched uranium is UF6, uranium hexafluoride.
I think you should put Oppenheimer.
Whoa. What in the world? I didn't know you could change the color by pasting in other. What?
Wow. That's pretty sick. Oh, yes. No, and it's green too for a biohazard. That's perfect. That's what we like to see. Radioactive. There it is. Perfect.
All right.
Love this. About to be. Yes. Okay. Add a screenshot. Oh, man. Add a screenshot with enriched uranium with Wicks. Yes. Make for a great tweet. The unstable compound himself. Mr.
How's that?
Mr. Taywicks.
That looks right. That looks perfect. I don't know
I
why
think
it's left aligned. I can't.
No
figure
idea.
that, but whatever.
That could be fixed in the settings, baby. All right. Let's get to the guy. We've all been waiting for it. Where is he, JJ?
I'm drawing a freaking blank.
Where's Jayden Reed, JJ?
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jayden Reed going to be? Right next to the Venmo. Oh, right next to JJ Lippy. Yep. There it is.
Here's the thing. Venmo is on what you guys are seeing. On my screen, it's just my browser window.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so I'm putting
enriched uranium, baby.
Enriched uranium.
Yes.
You
Two
have
guys
to.
in enriched uranium. This is great.
You have to. Here's the thing.
Is Watson
All right.
also enriched uranium, though? A little bit.
No.
He's
No,
a
he's
little bit.
not.
He's a little bit. Not completely. These two, though, you talk about unstable.
What's
It's
the
funny
most...
that we've put Doubs in reliable starter. He dropped the same amount of passes as both these guys last year. He did make more big plays though.
Yeah, but that's why you can't just watch the box scores.
Jayden Reed.
Here's where I'm expecting
Jayden Reed through 5 weeks was
Jayden
not in
Reed
this
is ending up
category
here this season. This is where he's going to wind up.
He was not in that category last season through 5 weeks. We would not have put him there through 5 weeks. And then there was a fallout. Okay? All right? There was a fallout. There was a serious issue after that, right? So Watson can catch. So there's that has gone away. Now the full route tree thing, blah blah blah, but maybe he's never going to be that, right? And that's not the role. Doubs doing that. No. We got to leave enriched uranium.
I'm just telling you. Look, this is the tier.
Nuclear fallout. No. Watson's fine. He didn't drop the ball.
Look, this is the tier.
Oh yes, of course. Well, no. Watson caught the ball. He's fine. We're good. No.
Like this is where
Not
I'm
right now.
expecting. I'm just saying this is where I'm expecting Reed to end up.
I'm not, but I get it. I get it.
Wicks is either going to be in
Yellow or
here.
red.
He's going to be here,
He could be blue to red,
or he's going to be off the team. Like he's going to be here, halfway in between these, or off the team.
Blue green to red. Okay, here's something for excellent.
I can't pin that on the screen, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing about excellent. So far, now Jayden Reed's going in there, maybe gets rid of that. But excellent to me, like right now, we talked about this. Where's Jacobs on your running back list, JJ? If you had to put running back rankings together, like top single digits for sure, no question.
Single digits, yeah, probably upper half of. He's not going to be 7th. He'll be higher than 7th. He'll probably be 6 or higher, I would say.
So that's what I mean. So he's way up on the list, and Kraft is way up on the list. So if somebody goes in the excellent, if you're looking at it relative to the league, that's somebody who should be like, way up there on the, on the list of like if you're.
And this is the thing, Jayden Reed through the first 5 weeks, he was wide receiver 1
certainly.
or 2 in the NFL, and then he fell off a cliff. And was
probably
he
wouldn't
even
go
top
that
64
far,
by the end of the year? I would say no.
No, not by the end of the year. I don't know if he would have been top 2 for me or anything like that, but 6, 7, I feel like.
No, I'm just saying through the first
he was there.
weeks, he was leading the NFL in all major statistics through the first 5 weeks, and then week 7 happened.
Yeah,
and that was it for him. Yeah, you say Chernobyl?
Yeah. Listen,
fine, I'll put him in
here. We gotta keep.
Hey, Jake, have you been monitoring the situation with a little registered trademark this week?
Have I been monitoring the situation?
Yeah,
I haven't been
all these people. A lot of guys.
I haven't been in the situation room, but certainly
capitalize.
yes,
title case monitoring the situation.
Yeah.
Registered trademark. Have you been one of those?
Yeah,
I've been one of those
for sure. For sure.
Okay. For sure. Ayers says All Pro is basically the top 3 or 4 at your position. Agree. Excellent would be top 20 to 25. No, I would say that's
top
reliable
12.
start.
I would say 12,
top 12
is your excellent.
Yeah.
Maybe
10.
that
feels right to me. Well,
12 is probably good if you're leaving it All Pro at 4. I think excellent needs to be top 12.
I would say you need to be top 5 or 6 in your conference at a minimum.
Which I think, puts you 12, 10, 12. Yeah.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. And I would not put Reed there. I can't put any of the receivers there. I have no problem. No. Again, I would have all 3 of the guys above Enriched Uranium in the excellent, but I get why you're putting Jordan in the All Pro. Totally fine.
Wait, say that again. You said all 3 of the guys above Enriched Uranium, you'd have them in excellent. What does that mean?
Yeah, I was just remember I said I would put Jordan in the green, not the blue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And
so that's where I would have them, right? That's fine. And I'm just saying but again, I have Jordan at 7, Kraft at 5, and Jacobs probably at 6, 7 as well. So they're all in that area where it's they're not for me at least, the elite of elite, but they're extremely good. They're in the upper echelons, right? That's where they belong. So that's where I feel excellent comes into play. And there's going to be a ton of reliable starters, I think, of this list, especially if Reed's joining the cast and characters there.
Ayers
it certainly does depend on position.
2025 guy, just a reliable starter. I would say you can, with the exception of there's some positions where we kind of lump them together a little bit. So I would say just double that number for guard, right? Say top 40 to 50 guard.
See, you could have reliable starter, which is, I think, totally fine saying top 32. And then you have quality starter, which is a little higher. And then you get to excellent. I could definitely see that being the scale of this sort of. But I do like our 2 guys going into what is this for them? This will be year 3. Yeah, for Enriched Uranium. So
we have to keep talking about Reed because here's the problem.
Do
you agree
we could
with
put a Reed compilation this off season? There's so much content there.
Do you agree with my premise that Dontavian Wicks's ceiling is astronomically higher than Jayden Reed's ceiling? If both those maxed out what they could what they could absolutely be. Yeah. That even though Reed is much more likely to hit his ceiling,
he's got the
Wicks's
higher probability
ceiling is
floor. Yeah.
Different stratosphere.
For sure. Yes.
Because Wicks's ceiling,
Watson's as well. Right? Not to mention.
Well,
I still think Watson's is a little bit, but Golden.
But do you think Watson has that in him though to be that top tier route runner with
not
the
route runner? It would have to be the elite 2. Tip top elite 2s. Right.
Devontae Adams, despite not having the athleticism of, Jamar Chase or Tyreek Hill, very different
Malik.
types of wide receivers. But like at any Malik, yeah, sure. Point being, guys who like indisputably at some point in their career were the best wide receiver in the NFL, right? And Devontae Adams never had those physical traits, but he certainly was the best wide receiver in the NFL at points in his career. And Wicks clearly has that.
Some of that, for sure.
In him somewhere. Not saying he's going to hit it. Reed, if he was the level best he could possibly be in every single category, I don't see him hitting that. Like, I think that him absolutely maxing out all of his God-given gifts is just, it's definitely a tier or two below Devontae Adams.
Yes.
And I think the difference is you have to have an elite trait.
Mm-hmm.
And Wicks has one. His elite trait, I would say he has two elite traits. One is his release. His release is wicked. And I think that's the best thing he has, is his release. He's also just a surgeon of a route runner with room to grow. Like, he's already a fantastic route runner, and there's so much more where that he could improve. Like, you're watching how much he does so much better than all the other wide receivers on this roster. And then you see all the things that he could improve in his own game. And like, you can't not get excited about that.
Yeah, because
Christian Watson has an elite trait, which is his body is Superman, right? Does Jayden Reed have an elite trait? I don't think he does. He could be a very well-rounded guy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think when you look at like Wicks and you talk about Adams not having the biggest, all the athletic traits in the world, you're looking at, him, Keenan Allen, who hit some big ceiling years. Cooper Kupp hit the big ceiling years. Michael Thomas had a big one like that, right? Where it's like these guys who aren't, as you said, top tier athletes, and they're just getting it done with everything else. And I feel like Puka's also kind of in that realm as well, where it's like he doesn't overwhelm you with a lot of things, but he is just figuring things out. So, yeah, I think Wicks is certainly can do
that type of receiver and Larry Fitzgerald, Julio Jones, whatever. And like, okay,
for sure.
And that's why you talk about Hall of Fame for those guys, right?
100%.
And so, I don't know that Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, or Jayden Reed, that any one of those three guys has Hall of Famer potential inside them. I don't think they do.
No.
From a physical standpoint, like Watson has the physical traits for it, but he just has so much development in front of him to achieve that. And are we seeing indications that he's on that path? I don't think so.
No.
Whereas Wicks is more Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams type best wide receiver in the league potential.
Yeah.
If that sentence makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Ayers says Hall of Fame potential is rare. Yeah, I should hope so. Yes, it's not the Hall of Very Good, despite everybody's, desires to put
Eli Manning.
Yeah. John Lynch. I mean, there's a lot of schmucks who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, where are we? We did receiver.
We're at, I don't think there's any other.
Are we doing Malik Heath?
Well,
are we doing that?
Let's do Malik Heath and let's do Mecole Hardman. Because they are certainly fringe 53 guys.
Is Bo Melton going in as a corner?
Yeah, because he's not wide receiver cornerback. He's just cornerback. So, Malik Heath, average or below average?
I guess with the guys who are there, that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, who would you rather have in the field, Malik Heath or Luke Musgrave?
Malik Heath.
Yeah, so you can't put him in the same tier.
Again, developing project could have a wide range of outcomes. I feel like I didn't answer it fast enough. It's like, is he going to say Musgrave? Is he going to say receiver?
All right, Mecole Hardman. He's like a beige, right? He's a beige.
I would put him in orange, but
I don't have any problem with that. But I think that there is a little bit of a difference between Mecole Hardman and Malik Heath. Maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a bigger difference between Mecole Hardman and the three guys above him, though.
Well, yeah, and that's why they're not in the same. But I never proposed putting him in yellow.
I know you
proposed
said
that
beige,
he's
and we don't really have a beige, and yeah, it's a
We
whole
could make a
thing.
Mecole Hardman tier, but I don't think that he's interesting enough to give him his own tier.
No, his own tier. Wow.
Whereas Tay Wicks certainly is. And
No.
he
He had his Chernobyl. He had it. You got to keep him there. You got to keep him there.
Jayden Reed can't go in your enriched uranium because if he goes off, what are you going to get? You're not going to get nuclear.
But again, he dropped a lot of passes. I just don't know if he's a reliable starter. That's why I'm like, no.
Harris says only Cooper has the. Oh, he's talking about Hall of Fame potential. He says Edgerrin Cooper has Hall of Fame
I think
potential.
there's one other. I think there's one more.
Where are you saying in addition to Cooper? Like you would say Edgerrin Cooper has Hall of Fame potential?
I don't know. Perhaps, but like I would have another fella instead.
This marked me down as uncomfortable with that classification.
Right.
Who is it? Somebody? It's somebody we didn't talk about yet.
We haven't done it yet. No.
All right, so mention when we get there then.
Yeah. It's
Joel for this says
Oladapo.
Kraft has it as well. I mean,
It's Oladapo, JJ, obviously.
oh, it's
No. But anyway. All right.
Is Tom Brady a Hall of Famer in your opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's just annoying. He's
of course.
clearly a Hall of Famer. He's just annoying. But that there's
Is
a
he
lot.
somebody I would want to shake his hand? No. No. But
I think the only
But I do
Michigan
respect
player
it.
I would shake his
I
hand is
respect
Rashan Gary.
I respect it. Loveland.
No.
Okay.
Tool for this says he'd have
Let's,
Hardman and uranium because the potential is there if given this. He's had so many chances, man. No.
Yeah, he's played on a couple teams. He played with Mahomes.
And Rodgers.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, I can't. We can't do that.
So we're on to
29?
offensive line now. So let's start with Rasheed Walker. And I would say Rasheed Walker clearly is reliable starter.
Yeah.
But like he's verging on excellent because like you and I have already done this where we went through and like ranked him among the starting left tackles in the league. And he was borderline top 10, which is what we said you had to be for excellent, was like 12 or so
right.
best.
I need to. Yeah, I got to go to the board here.
You pulling it up on over the cap or what?
Yeah, I'm going to the board, fellas. I got to make sure it's. We'll have to go through and like. Okay. All right. Wirfs, Williams. Wirfs, Williams, Darisaw.
Problem is that Wirf's contract is hard to factor in here. Where even is he? Where the heck is Wirfs?
He might wait. He's played left tackle now.
not?
Have they not moved him over? Yeah, he's playing left tackle now. I guess over the cap didn't move him over there.
Okay.
Yep, they didn't move him over there.
Well,
Even
here's
though
the thing,
he
though. If we're
should
going
be
to
over
open
there,
up to
though.
left and right tackle, then that means we got to double the number of.
Certainly.
Shoot. So you're going to list. Okay. So we're going to say if you can only list 21 total tackles left and right combined who are better than Rasheed, then he counts. Is that correct? Like 21 or fewer, then he
Yeah,
counts. But if you can get 22 or more, then he doesn't count.
probably. Yeah,
I think it's tidier to just do left tackles. But
that's
if
fine.
you want to
Let's
do
just
this,
do left. Let's just do.
I'm willing to
lefts.
let you do either way.
lefts. So let's just do
Okay,
lefts,
so if
'cause we'll
he's,
get to-
he's
we'll get
12
to the
or
other guy.
better, 12 or better in left tackle. Here's the thing: if you list a guy and I can't find him on over the cap on left tackle because he's over in right tackle, then he doesn't count.
No, but Wirfs does because he played left last year. He just 100% played it. That's the
Okay.
thing. Okay. So Wirfs has to be in there. Okay. Wirfs, Williams, Darisaw, Mailata, Matthews. is 5.
Yep.
Slater. I said Darrisaw already,
6
right?
more. You said Darrisaw. You got 6 more.
Dawkins. Oh, man. Tunsil's probably on the downswing, but he had a great year last year. I'll put Tunsil on there.
Okay. You got 4 more.
Oh, boy. There's a few that are really tight. Really tight. Like, gosh, he's in a really nice grouping with, like, Cross, Colton Miller. I don't know. I'm iffy on Bulls. I wouldn't put Bulls in that. Who else was I talking about? Decker.
So how many of those guys are you ranking ahead of Rashid?
Give me Cross and Decker.
Okay. Got 2 more.
God, with what Andrew Thomas is making, he should be there. But he got hurt.
2 more, and we got kind of an asterisk.
I'll probably put
Werf's in there.
I'll probably put Thomas. Well, he played left tackle last year, so it's not an asterisk. He played it.
I know, but he's not playing left tackle this year.
Yeah, he is.
Why is he at right tackle then?
Because they refuse to move him because they're silly gooses.
Oh, over the cap, not the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Yes. Over the cap refuses to move him.
Bye, Tool, for this. Thanks for hanging out.
I mean, yeah, he's probably right around 10, 11.
All right. So by definition, we got to put him in excellent.
Guess so.
All right.
Was
Left
not
guard.
my initial thought going in.
Aaron Banks. Like, I don't know if we can we confidently say better than average?
Oh, boy. Probably.
I will say I don't think he's ever been. I guess a reliable starter. Is he like
Oh boy.
reliable starter? Yes, but like good.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that. Also, you have the over the cap tab still open
Oh, whoops. Thanks.
on the screen. Yep.
Thanks. All right, Aaron Banks.
I think that's fine.
He's beige.
I think that
He's beige.
Yeah, I think that's fine if you want to put him in average.
Here's the thing. Like this might
guard
change when we're
position's a
discussing
lot
Nate
tougher.
Hobbs too, because like Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs, like, those two signings,
New. Yeah.
they're new. Neither one of them has ever done anything, and we paid them a lot of money.
Correct.
And everybody's either in one of 2 camps. Either you think Aaron Banks is like a defensible signing and Nate Hobbs is head scratching, and that's where I am. Or you think Nate Hobbs is a defensible signing and Aaron Banks is head scratching. Which at the time, I remember that's kind of where you were. I don't know where you are now, but when we first signed those guys, that's kind of where you were at.
Yeah, because I thought it was a lot. It's a lot of money for Banks.
But this is not this tier chart. This tier maker chart is not about the money. It's about the play on the field. Like, do we think he's going to be a reliable starter? Probably.
Probably.
Like, if you were facing him, if you're a defensive line and you're facing Aaron Banks, you're not licking your chops and saying, "Ooh, we're going to pick on that guy."
No, but I don't think you're nervous. I think you're
That's
in
kind of
the
how you feel
middle.
about the tier, anyways. Like Romeo Doubs, like you're
Probably.
not nervous, but you're also not
Probably.
licking your chops either. It's just okay. Gotta play this guy.
Yeah. It is interesting that most of the backups are in the average right now.
Elgton Jenkins. Can we justify putting him below excellent?
So this is purely as a center, right?
No, I'd say it's like purely as like just him as an asset as a player. And like we're putting him at center because we need a center. But if push comes to shove, like are you going to upgrade him because we move him to left tackle because of injuries and stuff? Like he's still the player on the roster that he is.
Player. Yeah. Man, this is tough. Excellent's
I
going to
don't
have
think
a
we
lot
can
more
put him lower
players
than
I
excellent,
would like to. I think. I mean, with this, our offensive line, there's like no excuses this year based on this.
I mean, right guard, which we're about to do. Let's sort through our pile of right guard options, and let's start with the guy who's been here the longest, Sean Ryan, who's like average.
Yeah.
And then we got Jordan Morgan.
Red.
Why can't I not find him? Jordan Morgan. Here we go.
There he is. Probably
Red.
Yep.
And then Anthony Belton.
Got to be in red as well.
You said he's got to be in red because he's a rookie?
No, I just said he's got to be in red as well. Where is he going to play? Is he playing right guard? Is that a developmental, position for him? Something he's going to have to work at more?
Yeah, I mean, if we were starting him in week 1, we'd be terrified.
Right. It's not yeah.
But I would be terrified. Which would scare you more for week 1? Starting Sean Ryan or Jordan Morgan at right guard? I mean, I think you're in big trouble either way.
Probably Morgan. If we're going to be running more power stuff, I think.
So, Zach Tom, I'm going to put in all pro. This is my
That's the guy. That's the one of the two I had up there.
Okay. And so I'm curious to see who the third all pro is up here once you reveal your pick.
Okay.
But it's unanimous.
John Oladapo.
You, me, and the chat all have to agree Zach Tom is all pro.
That's the Hall of Fame potential, I think, that we're looking at here, potentially.
Yeah.
With him. That's the guy I was referring
I mean, move him, put him at left tackle or center, please. Not right tackle if we want him to be an all.
You could put him at left.
Hall of Famer.
Could put him at left.
But I don't know.
I have no problem with that. Let's put him at
the
left.
Packers are not serious when it comes to this thing.
How many other linemen are we putting on here? Monk, probably.
I know exactly where to put Monk. Here we go.
Okay.
No, I'm not really going to do
Do
that.
we
He's
have
project? I got here. Here's the reason we have the fry cook tier. All right, there's some guys
there. Orzek got him. Right there next to Van Ness. Yep.
Travis Glover is going to fry cook.
100%.
I am as much of an NFL offensive lineman as Travis Glover is, and that is not a brag about me. That is purely to crap on Travis Glover. Ayers says was going to say Hall of Fame potential with Tom, but the Nolan Smith sack left a bitter taste.
Yeah, everybody gonna get
snap,
got,
man.
though.
What are you gonna do?
Everybody gonna get got. There ain't nobody.
I mean, should we go look at the sacks that Trent Williams has given up in his career?
Yeah, it's that's the thing. Like even again the Hall of Fame corners, they get got plenty. Like it's kind of. Do we need any more offensive linemen on the list? Probably not.
Yeah, we do. Our numbers are we only have 6 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6,
6,
7, 8, 9.
7,
9.
8, 9. Let's put one. I think we need one more in the mix at
Okay.
least.
Kadeem Telford.
I mean, Kadeem is.
He's all the way on the left.
Let's rank Donovan Jennings.
John
I think
Williams,
he's in the mix.
Their draft pick.
What'd you say? Yeah, John Williams.
John
Let's do
Williams.
John Williams. John Williams I mean, so he's a what, 6th rounder or a 7th rounder? He's a 7th rounder.
7th.
But like, if we were starting him,
No, I can't put him there.
okay. You agree with Donovan in developing project? I kind of think Donovan it belongs to the lower end of average.
I guess. Oh, I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like we're waiting on it, and it's been a long time, and he may.
It's been 1 year
For me. Oh yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, that's not. Yeah, Donovan Jennings. Gosh dang it, I was thinking of freaking the other two clowns, Jones and
What?
Tenuta. The other two clowns.
Oh
who
yeah.
Taking it forever. I would still put him in red for me, but because again, average to me is like these guys have like played.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just put Orzek in the purple while we're down here. Might as well. He's on that row.
Is that too generous though?
It is, but that's all we got. Okay.
Okay. Serious
Keep
question.
rolling. Oh.
Is there a team in the NFL with a worse long snapper situation than the Packers?
Probably not.
You took too long to answer. You should have already said heck no.
Probably not.
I mean, Matt Orzek is appallingly bad, and we are not even bringing in other long snappers for workouts. We're not even bringing in other long snappers for workouts. Like other NFL teams, at least have a guy that they know they're not going to sign, but they're like, hey, I heard he tells a really good joke, and I kind of want to hear it. Let's bring him in the building and let him tell us the joke, and then we'll send him back home.
I want to see PFFs.
Matt Orzek is the worst football player we have in the building, and it's not close.
Here's the long
He's not a football player.
Tampa Bay's Evan Deckers and Miami's Blake Ferguson are the only ones who are remotely close in grade. Oh, no. Rick Lovato in Philly, and then Tabor Pepper in San Francisco. My goodness.
And have those guys been dog water worst in the NFL
Miami
for
has
3 straight years?
3 guys on here.
Because Orzek has that going for him is that he's a three-peat of worst
consistent
long snapper in the NFL.
He's precise. I'll give him the precision. He's the guy who's like, I missed the dartboard 3 times in the same spot type of thing.
Right?
He's like, all right, well, I'll be over here, right? Like, I'll be over here, but it's not.
Ayers says he's the new Royce Newman. You don't understand. Like Royce Newman, you could put on a football.
You don't have to talk down to him,
and he would be bad. Matt Orzek should not be allowed to watch a football game as a fan. He's that bad.
It's not great. All right.
I think
is that enough offensive line?
I think it is. I mean,
I know
here's the
Telford's
thing.
there, but
Telford is in the mix of 53.
Sure.
We got this pile of guys. Monk, Williams, Jennings, Telford. Probably one of those 4 or 2 of those 4 is going to make the 53.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably want it to be not Telford.
Yeah.
I'd like it to be Monk because I'd like him to justify the absurd amount of draft capital we threw at getting him. John Williams, I think, is probably the best tackle prospect there, and Jennings is the best guard prospect there. Monk, we overspent the most to go get. Telford, see ya. That's kind of how I would couch that.
Okay. A lot of players still left on the board here. All right.
Well, the whole defense, yeah. So for defense, let's start with defensive tackle.
Yep.
Let's start with Kenny Clark. I'm gonna put him.
Fry
I
cook.
can't put him in. What? Fry cook. I can't put him a reliable starter. He's not a reliable starter.
No.
He is straight up bad at football these days. And don't give me the bunions thing or whatever.
Fry cook.
Too.
More fry cooks.
Here's the thing: he's a
we need
developing
more.
project because
No, he's
Packers.
He's 30.
No, because the Packers are trying to turn him into a 4-3 defensive tackle. Why? We don't know, but they're trying to.
No. Fry cook.
All right, we're putting in Fry
All right.
Cook, but let it be known I
Carl
didn't do it
Brooks.
this time.
Carl
It was
Brooks.
Jake Schyvinck did it this time, not me.
Carl Brooks developing project.
Hold on, you a-hole.
What?
There's Carl. Well, I'm deeply offended
Oh,
that
that's
you would
tough.
put
That's
Carl
tough.
Brooks
All right.
in development.
Devontae Wyatt.
Carl Brooks is at least orange, and I would say that's where he belongs.
All right.
Who did you say you want next? Devontae Wyatt?
Yeah. Let's get Devontae Wyatt off here.
Devontae goes here.
Okay.
And I will not hear any slander putting him lower than that.
All right. Who's next?
I mean, that's it. We don't have any other defensive tackles on the roster. Hold on. Seriously, let me pull up my spreadsheet and remind myself who's even on the roster. So we have done the 3 guys
Warren Brinson.
already that we put on our roster at defensive tackle. We had 2 guys under nose tackle, which were Warren Brinson
Yes.
and Nazir Stackhouse.
Yes. There we go.
And I think it's generous. It's generous to put him in.
It probably is. Are they the new Caleb Jones, Luke Tenuta? Perhaps. Perhaps they are.
So there's also
Very possible.
Colby Wooden. And I'm thinking Colby Wooden might be Fry Cook territory.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. For sure. Not
So
great
let me-
where we have the D line relative to the rest of the roster.
Hey, Goody don't care. Goody don't give a crap about defensive tackle. Other than drafting my guys, Carl Brooks and Devontae Wyatt, he hasn't done crap at defensive tackle. So
Have you had
other
a my guy
bodies on the
recently than
roster.
those two?
Say what?
Have you had a my guy recently? Like along the lines
Yeah,
of those two?
Oladapo.
No, a
Oladapo
D
was
tackle,
good
a D
following.
tackle, a D tackle.
Oh, not that he drafted. No, I mean Ty Robinson.
Oh,
Ty Robinson.
Right, okay. Ty Robinson.
Yeah. No,
Okay, yeah.
this past year I had all kinds of D
Alexander,
tackles
yeah.
I liked.
That's right.
Tons of guys I liked.
Listen, we're
Ayers
fine.
has hope for Clark still. I don't
We're
know why.
fine. We're fine.
The Slayton loss was devastating. I mean, I guess from a numbers standpoint, because we don't have enough D tackles to field a football team.
We're fine. We have the best coaching staff that there is for this D line.
So there's 3 other defensive tackles on the
Shouldn't
roster.
be concerned.
It's
I'm not.
Keith Randolph. Where is it? Keith Randolph.
I saw him. He's all the way on the left now.
Nesta Jade Silvera over here. And Mr. James Esther. I'm not putting any of those guys on the
We're
board.
not doing that. We gotta keep moving.
That's it.
we
That's
got
all we have at defensive tackle. So let's move on to
Yeah.
defensive end.
Yes.
So I'm curious where you are going to put Rashan Gary, because I think we're going to disagree.
Probably yellow.
That's brutal. You're putting him in the Jayden Reed, Aaron Banks tier.
I don't believe I said I'd put Aaron Banks in that one, though. To be fair. There we go. I'm fine with that. That works for me. That works for me.
Listen, there's another
I'll go
guy who this
there.
tier was creative. There's another guy this tier was
Oh,
creative.
sure. 100%.
Let's do him right
You
now.
know who it
Let's
is.
Do him right now.
Do it to him. Oh, that's actually not who I thought.
What? You weren't thinking Van Ness?
No.
What were you thinking? You were
I w-
thinking, were you thinking Colin Oliver?
Yes. No. I was truthfully, I was actually going to
A
put
defensive
Oladapo.
end?
I was actually going to put Oladapo there.
Oh, well, we're at defensive end.
Or Bullard, honestly.
Frick that. No.
Anyway,
Dude, Javon Bullard hitting
let's
his
go.
ceiling.
No, we got to go. We got to keep moving. We got to keep
not
moving.
doing-
We're
I'm
not
jumping
even
ahead.
there yet.
I'm
not
jumping
even
ahead
there
to
yet.
put Bullard in
That's
developing
fine.
project.
We
Now we're
can
going
do
back to
that.
defensive end again.
That's where I put
gotta do-
LVN as well. But
Developing
that's just
project?
me. Yeah, for sure.
No, screw that. He's enriched uranium.
I'm just not a fan of the Lukes on our team. I just don't think they're very good. I think
We only have
it's
2, right? Now
Yeah.
that Chanuta's gone.
Yes. Well, he still counts, I think. I would still count him. Just not a
All
fan
right.
of those guys out there.
Brenton Cox Jr. I'm putting in average. Glad to have him around.
Okay.
Don't want him cut, but also I can't put him any higher than average.
Okay.
Aaron Mosby, I'm not ranking. Barryn
Sorrell.
Sorrell.
There's only one spot for him at this point.
Fry cook.
Well, 2, I guess.
Developing prospect. But I mean,
Oliver has to be the same.
I'm more excited about Colin Oliver, I think, than Barryn Sorrell.
You could put him in the uranium if you must.
no,
You don't
because they
know
don't
what
have a role
happens
for
when
it.
you enrich it. That's kind of a developmental thing. It's like, well, what if this we really like this development?
We'd have to put the
possibility.
coaching staff in,
I guess you
into
could do
developing into the mix as well. The coaching staff has to figure out where they're going to play him. If you told me they were going to put him at Sam linebacker, absolutely.
Enrich that uranium. Let's go. Yeah,
We
Okay.
got to do Kingsley.
we do.
So I think Kingsley actually. Where the heck is Kingsley? There he is. Put Kingsley in reliable starter. Would you put him in average instead?
Yeah.
He's beige. We need a beige tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I know
We
how
can
to
do
fix
beige.
it.
We can do beige.
I'm just gonna rename the average tier to beige. Now I feel
Okay.
better. I feel a lot better.
Beige.
But that's how you spell beige.
No. I know. I was just I
Is that a
like
meme?
calling
I don't know.
I like calling it that. No, I just because
Okay.
of the letters and how it's just the way we've decided
You
to
make it
spell
French.
things. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the way we've decided to spell things. It's very funny. All right.
So I think we only have 3 DEs left on the roster, and that's Aaron Mosby, Deslin Alexander, and Jeremiah Martin. I'm not doing anything with those 3 guys.
No.
So let's do linebacker. This will be interesting. So we got to start with Quay. I'll let you say where you want Quay to go.
Part of me says uranium. Part of
Yeah.
me says average.
He wouldn't say reliable starter. He's not on the tier of Romeo Doubs.
Yes, but also I think there's some uranium to enrich there. You know?
No, I mean I'm not waffling between these two. You were waffling between these two, between beige.
Well,
and
I'm
reliable
saying
starter.
between enriched and beige. Feel a little like, you know.
Enriched beige.
Oh man. I love that the tiers are evolving too.
That was what I was
I
hoping. for
love
these tiers.
this. Yes, I love that. I'm fine with that. We can do that. Quite. I'm good with that.
Let's see. Isaiah McDuffie.
Average.
You are so down on McDuffie. You have him in like fry cook territory, don't you? I certainly think he's
That's average is fine.
reliable starter.
I can't.
You're gonna fight me on at least putting him in average, right?
No, I'm fine with average. That works for me.
I can compromise on that.
All right.
All
Love that. Love a good compromise.
right,
We need more of
Isaiah
those.
Simmons.
We need some more of those, you know?
Isaiah Simmons, like
Is
by
this a
definition,
uranium
is a
thing?
developing
But
project.
yeah, it's probably that.
I think that he's like spent uranium.
May I say, I think
uranium was-
Oliver has more uranium to enrich than Simmons. I would just like that out there for the folks.
If they're
Just
going
wanna
to
make
exclusively play Isaiah Simmons at linebacker and only have him
Yeah.
do linebacker stuff, that excites me a little bit.
Yes.
They are not talking about that because they're stupid.
They are talking about some other things, which I feel like Arizona tried to do those things. And
New York tried to do those things.
Yeah.
And
just saying, yeah, no. I know where Hopper's going to go for you. Might
see
as well
it
put him
Clemson or
there.
Oklahoma.
Clemson.
Simmons.
Clemson.
All of a sudden, I had a vision of him in a Oklahoma uniform, and it just looked right in my mind, and I questioned everything about
That might be the Cardinals. That's why.
Yeah, that's what it
Could be.
is. That's
Could
what it
be.
is. Rev Trev says, "Go Pack, go! Go Pack, go!"
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome back.
Oh,
maybe?
let's see. I guess
But
we're
do
gonna
what you
have
got to
to
do.
this.
Do what you got to do, you know?
Me with Edgar
Oh.
Cooper? You want me to do what I
Oh
have to
no,
do?
I thought you were going. I said might as well get Hopper out of the way. Enrich that, yes, of course.
All right, so we can agree to put him in enriched uranium.
Yes, of
but
course.
if this tier was not available, where would you put him? Because would you be putting him in like reliable starter? Or
Probably.
average?
Yeah, I probably would put him in the yellow.
All right, we can put him in enriched uranium.
All right.
And then let's do it. This is just gonna feel so good. Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Ooh, endorphins. I got endorphins from that. Yeah.
It was a different. It's not from the redacted energy. It was a different one. It was a second wind that didn't come from that, which I think is fascinating.
Yes, yeah, I just had some redacted,
There you go.
and I definitely got a tingle, but it was not the same tingle I got
It
for
wasn't
putting
the same
Hopper
as
and Fry
doing what
Cook.
you wanted to do. We each got to do one for fun. Mine is
Oh, yeah,
more
you did
controversial,
Kenny.
which is good.
No, I'd say with this freaking fan base, they're both controversial. There's people who think Tyrone Hopper.
I guess, yeah, there probably are still.
I don't
some, for
understand
sure.
how those people exist.
All right. Who else do we got to put up there?
Yeah, there's more linebackers on
Are
the
there?
roster. We got one more. We really don't.
Where is he?
Who are you looking for? There's Christian Welch. Is like the
Oh,
only other
yeah.
linebacker on the roster.
I
Is
think
he
we're
on
good.
here?
I think
Christian-
he is there. Yes.
So you know what? We do need another tier. Actually,
What are we doing? I can't
see.
wait.
You're gonna agree.
It's new. Why is it yellow though?
Pure special because yellow is the
Ooh.
default that it creates.
Oh, pure special.
So
I
we
like
can
it.
put
All right.
Christian Welch on here. I don't want him playing defense.
Probably could put
but-
Mosby there too.
And I think Hopper belongs here too. He's a fine special teamer.
That works. Is there anybody else? Not allowed to play.
Oh, what do I want to say? Not allowed to play what? Like not just defense, offense. What?
Well, that's what pure special team. I think it's yeah. What?
All right, pure special teamer, Welch and Hopper.
Uranium just
and-
sitting in the ground. Unmined. Haven't touched it.
Oh, it's hold on. Black is not going to work. We can go with.
Light gray. Oh. What?
You disagree?
No, I okay.
I just wanted to.
I know. For the memes. For the memes, of course.
Okay. Is there anybody
Are
else?
there any other pure special teamers? I guess is the real question that we.
Like
Does Whelan count?
no, he does not count because
Okay. He is.
because
He
pure
is though
special teamer-
as pure as it gets. Though
pure special teamer,
I know.
like it can't be a technicality. It has to be a statement
I
of
understand.
your capability.
I know. But
So no, because
I know.
you're not going to disagree with me on this.
Zane.
Hold on, you're not going to disagree with me on this. Dan Whelan, All-Pro punter. How many punters in the NFC are better than Dan Whelan? Come on.
That's an interesting question.
See, look, errors. Look, Jake, I told you they exist.
I know.
He said Hopper is a project to me still. Get him reps. I'm telling you, there's
That's
people out
fine.
there. There are Hopper truthers out there who think he's going to
Listen, I didn't say anything about Hopper. I just let
defensive
you
player.
do it. I just let you do it.
I'm just saying. You can't put Whelan lower than excellent. He's certainly an excellent.
No. That's where I was going to put him personally.
But like by definition, how many NFC punters are better than Whelan?
It might only be one.
Okay, then he's an all-pro. Airs on Hopper says, I'm not saying he's good, but he only had like 3 snaps the whole season, not given a proper chance. You have to earn a chance somewhere. You have to earn it in practice or in the preseason or when you do get snaps out there on the field. He has only ever been terrible. You see a world where he's better eventually than McDuffie. I don't see how. You just don't like McDuffie. That's fair. But he's never been McDuffie on a bad day.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just Dixon and Anger as NFC punters that are better.
So I just don't know how you can argue with having him in the All-Pro tier. Like he would be, like by your definition, he would be in the conversation for winning All-Pro.
But that removes the AFC, which I think has probably more. Like AJ Cole.
Good thing he doesn't have to compete with the AFC punters to win All-Pro. He only has to compete with the NFC.
No, he has to.
He does?
Yes. Oh, yes. There are only 2 All-Pro QBs every year.
Fine. Put him in.
So
we'll put him in.
I think that's fair.
Mea culpa.
AFC has some good punters because there's some bad teams over there that like to punt, and they get a lot of great reps.
All right, let's do.
Is Cornelius Johnson a pure special teamer?
No, Cornelius.
Okay.
Here, you know what? Screw it. You made me rank him. I ranked him.
I'm just asking if we need to put more players in there. That's all I was saying. All right.
In the fry cook tier? Absolutely. We can put.
Sure.
There's plenty of guys we can put in.
Certainly. Okay. Go.
Let's do safety. Let's start with X.
All right.
I think X clearly belongs in excellent unless you.
That was my other guy that was in blue. That would have been.
You got him in blue?
That was the other guy I had in blue, yeah. Those were the 2, McKinney and Tom.
I will give you McKinney because you gave me Jordan.
All right.
But I think that you and I feel similarly about our compromises.
Sure. I like it. I'm okay with this.
All right. I'm okay with it too. But then this makes, if we're putting McKinney in All-Pro and we're not putting Jacobs in All-Pro, that makes me feel a little icky.
Okay. Not
Just
me personally, but not me but
all right. Here's the other guy to consider. Should Elgton Jenkins be in like a teal tier? I mean,
I think that's where Jacobs belongs, is in the teal. And I think you could convince me Love is in the teal because that is, I think, right where, to me, he belongs. Yeah, there could be a teal. There could be. Because I think that would separate, like, the Jacobses from Rasheed Walker, right? Where it's like, do you envision them on the same level as each other?
The problem is this enriched uranium is really supposed to be. This is supposed to be the tier that's actually between reliable starter and excellent. And so there's guys who are supposed to be in this tier in between these two.
There are
to put them in excellent.
Yes, but the enriched uranium is my favorite tier, though.
So we're saying All-Pro, you are like top 4. Excellent, you are top 12. Yeah. Reliable starter, you're top 25.
Yeah, 25 to 30.
So is Elgton Jenkins closer to top 4 or closer to top 12? I think he's clearly closer to top 4.
I mean, it's specifically an asset, as you said earlier. Yeah.
Ayers says teal tier should happen.
We can do
if we do a teal tier. Oh, there's not a teal color. There's not a teal color.
What have we used? Is that what we're using? I guess.
I don't like this.
Kind of looks funny.
See, what if we did?
Is it the light green? Oh, I like that. I like this. Yes.
And what if we just call this
teal tier? Jacobs and Jenkins, I think, would go there for sure.
I think here's what it is. I think this is actually excellent.
And then the other one is quality starter.
You know what this is? Maybe this
great
is like
starter. Locked and loaded.
Starter.
Locked and loaded.
It's just great.
Shout out to our friends at the tier below. Locked and loaded.
Great, elite, and All-Pro. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's fine.
Would you say Josh Jacobs is an elite running back? Yes or no?
How many would you say are elite? How many? What was your number in the league you would put in like an elite tier running back?
Not more than like 6.
If it's 6, I think he can belong there. If it's less, to me, no.
Yeah. Running back is tough too because people respect some crappy running backs who have great offensive lines. And those crappy running backs put up some really nice numbers.
Well, that's why they got rush yards over expectation.
Yeah, but people don't want to talk about advanced metrics when they're discussing running backs. That's what they hate doing. Because then you have to filter out the guys with big names who suck.
Well, too bad. That's what we doing.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not talking
We're
about
doing it here.
Wrong. I'm talking about the fact that I can't talk about running backs because people get mad about it. That's all I'm saying.
I gotcha.
So we're doing safeties. We did X. Let's do Evan Williams. And I think Evan Williams is reliable starter. Did your internet cut out?
No. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this to filter by this advanced stat, and I cannot do it.
Ayers, I'm not answering this question because you're going to get me canceled. Sorry, I just can't do it.
I mean, if Rush EPA had a tier of 6, unfortunately, our guy would not be on it. Which is tough. Even if they had a rush yards over expectation per attempt.
You're still on running backs? I thought you were looking up something with Evan Williams.
No. You got me on the advanced stats of running backs, and I want to look at it.
I put Evan Williams in reliable starter. Do you agree with that? That's the Quay Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Romeo Doubs tier.
We're fine. I think there's a chance we go upwards from there. But I'm fine with that. Especially after year 1. That's a lovely space.
Con Oladapo.
Enrich him.
Clearly.
Enrich that bet.
We're putting him there.
It's funny because he's higher than
I put
Evan
Carl
Williams.
Brooks in there. Yeah, but again, there's not a good spot to put the enriched uranium tier because it's not a tier. It's a
group of excellent individuals. It's like the Avengers. It's like we're making a new batch of Hulks or something. That's what it feels like.
This mission, should you choose to accept it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my team. I'm picking that team for sure. Especially when hope is a strategy. I'm good with that.
Well,
you know where I want him to go. Yep.
You're a special teamer.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I don't mind him on defense, but I like him on.
I like him. Yes. All right. Are we on the corners now?
No.
Is there one more?
So Bullard is in developing project, which I think is
we already
generous.
put him in there.
Are we missing? We're missing somebody, aren't we?
Are we?
No, we're not. We got everybody.
Jonathan Baldwin count? Are you doing that? Okay.
Not until we see him do something. I've never seen him do anything. And also, the Packers have him listed as a cornerback. So,
do they? That's weird.
Well, they did when I made my list. I don't know if they still do, but I made my list like a month ago.
It is. I will say it is throwing me off that for Cameron Young, I cannot get there. I don't know who that is. So,
I'm trying to find him to see what the heck position he even plays. I don't know who he is.
I don't know.
I'm Googling Packers Cameron Young. I'm getting predict he's like a defensive end or something. All right, he is close defensive tackle. Oh, I remember this guy. We just picked him up a couple days, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Seahawks 4th round pick. He's been just awful in the NFL. I'm not opposed to the pick because we need bodies in that room, and he's a body, and maybe he could pan out, but
works for
he
me.
has not done anything so far.
Okay. The main
So,
event.
let's
The
do-
main event, really.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do Carrington Valentine, maybe the only exciting guy to talk about here. Would you put him at average? Would you put him in reliable starter?
No, not personally.
Okay. Average?
I think that's fine. Yes.
Okay. And I would put Nate Hobbs at average as well.
Okay.
Do you think I should rank him higher than average? Would you say has demonstrated that he's a reliable starter in the NFL?
Yes. But there is a new team, new scheme type of thing going on there.
I struggle to put him higher.
That's fine.
But like, do I think he's better than Sean Ryan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think he's better than Carl Brooks? Heck no. Do I think he's better than Kingsley and Igbare? No.
Okay.
Do I think he's better than...
Because, like, to me, this whole average tier is like backups.
Yeah. Why do you think I was so mad that we
and-
gave Nate
and
Hobbs
I-
48 mil?
And you know, it hurts to put Carl Brooks there, but we have to right now. It's tough. It hurts, just a little bit.
We can let's temporarily put Hobbs in reliable.
I don't know.
starter.
The last time we gave a Raider $12 million, it worked out pretty well.
Was that Keyshawn?
That's Josh Jacobs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It's exactly 12. I was thinking. I thought we paid.
Maybe Brock Bowers will be a free agent.
Did we pay Keyshawn 12 for 3 years?
I thought it was 18.
18 for 3 years because he's
Probably
making
12
literally
guaranteed.
exactly half of what Hobbs is. So Keyshawn, I would put in like reliable starter.
For
Now,
sure.
The problem is,
As a kick returner. Hey, you said pure special teamers don't go there, so
I did, yeah.
So I guess he's got to be up there. I would like to put it for the record. I said as a kick returner, not as a corner. All right. Who we got left? Oh, wait, the corner
As a
is Bear.
corner,
That's
are
right.
you putting him average or reliable?
Average. But as a kick returner, I will put him as reliable.
Shut up.
Maybe even better than that. Maybe even better.
You want me to put him on this list twice so you can also put him as pure special team?
You know, no. I would, as a kick returner, I would put him at like maybe excellent.
Yeah, the problem is we're not looking for a kick returner. We're looking
That's true. Or
'cause,
not. Yeah.
like, what does it matter? Like, first of all, our special team is going to be awful no matter what. So I don't even care who's returning kicks.
It's true. There you go.
Our defense is in big danger of being bad because we don't have any defensive tackles or any cornerbacks. And I think you could survive one of those position groups being devastated, but not both.
Oh,
Like, hey, I know,
It'd be
let's have
really
questions on
nice
the
to have
front and the
Trey
back.
Amos and Ty Robbins on this team right now.
It would be nice to have like one other quality player in either one of those rooms. Just give me one. Give me Ty Robinson
And
or Trey Amos.
Both. Could have had both. Could have had them both.
So here's the thing: there's so few cornerbacks in the roster. We have to put Mike.
We
Robinson
do have to
in.
start putting some other guys on here. Yes.
No, I'm saying specifically Mike Robinson. We have to put on here.
Yes, in the red. Same with is Kalen King in there? I don't know.
No, let's do Kalen King. He's definitely in the conversation.
Okay. I thought he was going to get put in the fry cook.
No. You mistake me, sir, for a Kalen King hater. I'm a Kalen King truther. I just acknowledge he's never done anything.
I'm Kalen King agnostic, I think.
Okay.
I would
So
say.
now I think
Kamal
we need
Hadden,
to
probably.
skim. Shoot, why not? I mean,
I
what's
think
the
we
difference?
have to. Yeah, I
What's
think
the
he has to
freaking
be
difference?
involved.
Yeah,
I think
heck
he has
yeah.
to be involved.
Let's just
Sure.
put all the cornerbacks on the roster in development.
Well,
Let's
that's
put Nate Hobbs. in
Oh,
development prospect.
JJ, the linebacker. Were we thinking of Demas Johnson?
You know, it's been a minute since I thought about him, and I remember that we were excited about him, but I can't remember why we were excited about him. What did we like about him?
Athleticism?
Probably.
Yeah, probably range, all that good stuff.
All right, fine,
Yeah.
fine. Even enriched uranium.
Heck yeah. Love that. All right.
Listen, I'm not here to waste.
No, we can't do.
I'll meme a little bit, but I'm not here to.
We can't do that. We can meme for 2
Which
seconds.
is why Catan Oladapo is going into a real tier. What you think we should put him in University Uranium?
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I'm not here to waste people's time.
No, I think he should. I think he should go there. I think he should go.
Okay.
There. I'm there. Remember, Adam Huddles. I'm standing on this one. I will stand on this with Oladapo.
Why isn't Adam Huddle in the chat right now?
I want to. I'm believing in something there. I would like to believe in it.
All right. So let's see here. Bo Melton. No. Bo Melton. I need to see something. I need to see him play cornerback first. Like you tell me, put him at wide receiver. Like I'd put him at average.
How about gunner?
You want to just put him at pure special teamer? But the problem is like I don't mind having him out there on offense. Like I would
gunner
like
slash
on
kick
53
return.
on offense, except we have so many Bo Meltons basically.
Gunner slash kick returner. I feel like it's at least a spot.
Ayers says he put Cooper in great already.
Wow.
Respond to that.
I just feel like there's not. I just don't think we're at enough snaps yet. Now we have made some moves. I have said Tucker Kraft will be in great, even though people probably won't put him. Well, no, great. Now we've made the tier. Interesting.
See, here's the thing: you're not going to get.
We've made the tier
backup from
now.
me. I've never been a Cooper truther. I was pleasantly surprised that he had some nice moments last year. I've never been a Cooper trooper.
Interesting. We have split that tier up, actually. We have split that tier up now, where it would be because again, I think if we had Jacobs and Jenkins in that tier still, I would say no. But it's a different tier.
I can't put Cooper in the same tier as Tucker Kraft and Devontae Wyatt.
Can we put Tucker Kraft in the tier?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Now I think Cooper goes there. Now I think Cooper can go there.
I can't. I could put Cooper in reliable starter, even though he has not been a starter for us yet. Cooper is not better than Wyatt. Don't say silly things. Understand the Devontae Wyatt hate. Devontae Wyatt, he struggled to stay healthy last year. Sure. You can be annoyed about the injuries. Sure.
He's quite good.
He is excellent. Devontae Wyatt is excellent. He is easily the best defensive tackle on our roster. It's not close.
For sure.
If he could have stayed healthy all year, he absolutely would have been in the Pro Bowl, All Pro consideration. No question. He was excellent last year. He missed a lot of time, and that was killer. And our defense took a nosedive when he got hurt. Jake, that is a silly looking face you're making there.
I don't know about All Pro. I can get there with Pro Bowl. I cannot get there with All Pro. I think they're.
I mean, I don't care about the Pro Bowl anyways. So,
I would not say All Pro, but
so the chat is saying Cooper is our best linebacker and it's not close. Okay, I don't think our linebacker room is
for sure
is an asset.
Yeah,
I
was saying it too much.
I mean, like, are you gonna talk about who's our best corner and like pump that person up as well for that reason? Like, okay, being the best in a bad room is not. Ayers says not many linebackers that would have produced in limited snaps he had. Okay, and the limited snaps right there. The Packers didn't put him out there more often because he wasn't ready for it. So even putting him under reliable starter, well, the Packers didn't make him a starter because they couldn't. He was not ready. I just haven't seen enough from him yet to think, oh, yeah, he's great. I think he's promising. I love having him in the enriched uranium tier. Sure.
Just looking. All right. We have a few others that we need to do we?
Who do you want to rank from that? I mean, this is
Sam Brown, baby.
Pretty picked over. Gun to my head, I cannot
more
remember
receivers.
More Sam Brown plays. Is he a receiver?
Wide receiver. Miami. He was in Houston in 2023 with Matthew Golden.
All right. Oh, our kicker. He's a starter.
Oh, yeah. That's a great catch.
He's certainly a reliable starter.
Yeah.
Is he great? He's serviceable. He's reliable. That's what you want in a kicker.
Yeah.
Would you put him higher than reliable starter?
Maybe he isn't great. I'm trying to think of like who's
We need more
better-
grades. I'm fine with putting him there.
Who's
I mean,
better
like,
than him?
he's certainly set it and forget it at starter kicker. You're not remotely concerned. Okay, Drew. So I can tell that you're new to this episode, right?
Yes.
So he says, "How are
Yeah.
Wicks and Oladapo so high?" Yes, and this is our problem. This is not a tier. It's not actually in between yellow and green. This is
We're having
we
a
don't
good
know
time.
where to put this pink box. It's a whole separate category.
Yeah.
This is the whole problem. We just don't know where to put this. So enriched uranium, and this is why, like, you know,
Maybe
Gary
McManus
at
is a
least belongs
yellow.
in green. Okay, but this pink and enriched uranium tier, this is like you're going to have a breakout year, all right? And the volatility is all over the place, and like you got your floor is probably pretty low,
Like
and your ceiling is just absurd.
Wicks is like the most unstable compound there is on this entire team. I think Van Ness is also pretty unstable compound. Now
Like
Edrin Cooper,
Rashan in that tier was
Edrin Cooper's that enrichment is my goodness. Other places are on high alert. I think Gary and Great, is he top 12? Oh wait, we have elite now. But Great I still think would be that. I mean McManus is probably top 12.
I mean, the big problem with Gary is that only just now should we be expecting him to be fully back to himself post injury.
Yeah.
Last year, you should not have had lofty expectations from him. And if you did, that was your own dang fault for not listening the 10,000 times I said, hey, he's still recovering. I know you forgot about his injury, but his knee didn't. All right. Now in 2025, have all the expectations you want. And if you don't think he's playing well enough, go ahead and, actually pin that on his play ability. We are now finally, as of June 2025, far enough removed from the ACL tear that we should start having expectations. Yeah,
Clark is
said,
decayed. Yeah, he is. He's past the half-life decaying type of thing.
Look
yes.
where Jake put him.
Yep.
For once, it was not me who did that. It was Jake.
We got to get some clicks out here.
If we were click hunting, we would be putting Bo Melton really high on the list.
I'm not click hunting that bad. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anybody else we
To our
need
credit,
to throw up there?
Even with how much we meme around here, we don't ever click hunt, actually. Like, we meme all the time. And we goof around with ed policy stuff all the time. But when it comes to the football, we don't just say crap. And if one of us does say crap, the other guy calls him out on it. Yeah, Drew.
Yes, indeed.
Jake and I have had conversations about how high of a draft pick we'd be willing to give up to rid ourselves of Kenny Clark's contract with getting nothing in return. Brooks
I will
is
take
developing-
one redacted energy for Kenny Clark. Maybe
No, the question is, how many redacted energies would you give up to have the luxury of
none.
getting out of his contract?
I don't think I could give that up.
Would
All
you
right.
send another team a 5th-round pick plus Kenny Clark just for them to take Kenny Clark's contract.
It's like the Brock Osweiler thing. Like, hey, can you take this, please?
Exactly.
Yeah, 5th's probably good.
Oh, Drew wants to talk about Chris Brooks. Yeah, we should talk about Chris Brooks. He's worth talking about.
Pure
the
ST?
I don't even know what he's going to do on special teams. Here's the thing. Chris
Run
Brooks
and
finally,
be big
last year,
for running.
developed into very low-end average.
Same tier as Emmanuel?
No, I can't.
Maybe as pass blocker. Yeah, there we go. He could be an average for his pass blocking. That's fine. I said Nixon can be in. I did say Nixon could be a reliable starter as a kick returner. So I guess if we're.
Yeah, but I didn't let you do that, though.
You didn't. This is true.
Chris Brooks, I don't know. I mean, Matt LaFleur is still trying to develop him, I guess. So whatever. Put him in developing project. Yeah. But yeah, Chris Brooks as a pass blocker, I'm good with.
Yeah, same.
He finally, toward the end
but
of
I
last
would like
year,
it to be Lloyd.
developed to the point where I no longer got mad seeing him on the field.
We should revisit this.
It's finally time for us to cut him and let him go to San Francisco. That's what always happens.
We should revisit this mid-season to hopefully put more guys in enriched uranium and then also take those guys out of enriched uranium and put them somewhere.
Yeah, so who in developing project is an enriched uranium prospect?
Candidate.
Savion.
I would have to say Lloyd.
Savion
could go there.
You think Lloyd has like that ceiling though? Like Savion has the ceiling.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with our.
No, I think
enriched
Lloyd
uranium
does.
guys.
I actually
They
think
got
Lloyd
the
does.
ceiling.
Yeah, no, I actually think Lloyd does.
Okay.
I think there's some uranium to enrich there.
Belton.
I think I'm on board with Belton for sure. Oliver, if the right
You're
position.
You're gonna say Bullard. I'm not gonna say that.
Oliver at the right position, right?
Heck, Barryn Sorrell has. He has the potential to maybe become.
Yeah. It's true. Honestly, just because it'd be really awesome to keep this train moving that Green Bay has. Another 7th round offensive lineman. Get into that enriched uranium like Sheed did, right? You get John. Oh yeah, there we go. We can make this top row the enriched uranium, folks. Musgrave, get out of here.
It's like, it's kind of like
Musgrave, run away. Grab Sorrell and Oliver.
Where's Oliver? Yeah. I'm putting Oliver ahead of John Williams.
Yeah, you should probably put Sorrell ahead of him too, honestly.
Ahead of John Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Sure. There we go. I like it. That
I'm actually putting Jordan Morgan ahead of Luke Musgrave.
Yes.
And Donovan Jennings ahead of Jacob Monk.
I would put Bullard ahead of Musgrave too, and maybe Morgan.
I know exactly where I'm putting Bullard. Bullard
fine.
is going right in between
Donovan
Jennings and Jacob Monk. That's where he belongs.
Do whatever you want.
Isaiah Simmons, I would put ahead of Javon Bullard.
No, Isaiah Simmons is old.
Yeah, and Javon
too old for enriched uranium.
Drew,
welcome.
You speak for us all.
Welcome.
We are losing hope on Musgrave.
Honestly, no.
Some of us
I'm
never had hope
tense.
to begin with.
I'm at past tense.
Some of us never had hope for him. I liked him more his rookie season with the Packers than I ever liked him as a prospect. And then it's just been downhill.
He was the tight end Christian Watson, literally.
I thought in the off season was it 1 year ago? 2 years ago.
So he was drafted in 23.
Off season after, so then the 2024 off season. So that was a year ago. I think was the highest that I got on him at any point because I was trying to figure out who else could be a field stretcher besides Watson. And I thought maybe since we're so desperate to stretch the field, maybe Musgrave is that. It's about as far as I've gone.
It's fair. Well, it feels good.
I think this is about right,
We've
man.
done it. I think we've done it.
All right. Let's each pick 2 guys that we hope we are wrong on.
Okay.
I got one guy I hope we're wrong on. I hope after all the crap talking that I've done, I hope Kenny Clark just
There you go.
balls out.
That's
I
a
would love to
great one.
eat my words.
Perfect. Yep. 100%.
Here's says Cooper. You can't
He's
be mad that
90% enriched.
enriched uranium. You can't be mad about
He would
that.
be all the way on the left. He's all the way on the left. I would have it Cooper,
all the way on the left.
Cooper, Wicks, Oladapo, Van Ness would be my four in that order for sure. Cooper's at like 90%. Wicks is at like
It's so tough though
60,
because
Old Doubs at
if
like
Cooper
50, Van Ness at
maximizes
like
everything that
40.
Cooper can be, versus if Van Ness maximizes everything Van Ness can be, it's not even close.
I agree. I agree. But probably also don't agree. Right? You know what I'm saying?
So, all right. I'm saying one of my guys that
You know
I hope
what I
I'm
mean?
wrong on is Kenny Clark. No, I don't know what you mean.
You said it's not even close between the two, which I agree. But I think we have the different order of not even close.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're.
Yes.
That doesn't even make sense. You're saying an off-ball linebacker maximizing what he can be versus a
stiff
defensive
boy,
end
yes.
with the
versus stiff boy
with
for
the
sure. Yes.
physical attributes of J.J. Watt.
No. No.
He's not stiff. You are high.
He's stiff. He's stiff like his
He's
buddy
not.
Luke on the other side of the ball.
You are high. You are letting your Luke Musgrave hate
No.
infect
It's the
your
same thing.
perception of Van Ness because of the Lucas name. You think Quay Walker is too high, Drew? Where do we have him? We have it in reliable starter. I think he's a reliable starter, like by definition. Like
I mean, like
we said reliable starter was like the top 25 off-ball linebackers.
Do you feel like Drew? Do you feel like he belongs in a tier with those guys in orange there?
I'm telling you, man. There's people
Do you
hate
feel
Quay.
like he belongs with those guys?
And people love Sean Ryan.
Like, I just don't feel like he belongs with those guys. I mean, we put a rookie in there in the reliable starter group, right?
But Drew, you're saying he's average at best. Okay, but I think you mean he's an average starter, not he's an average player.
Right.
Because
I think
average
that's what he's
players
saying.
don't get to start. Quay Walker is deserving of being a starting linebacker.
Yes.
If we cut him, there's going to be multiple teams calling him up. They want him to come because there's going to be multiple teams calling him up.
It's going to
because
be
they
like
want him to become start.
It's going to be like the corner position when Ja is healthy. It's like, oh, we got Cooper, but then what? It's like, oh no, we have a problem. Colin Oliver is playing linebacker now. Only
You haven't given me a
playing
player yet that
exclusively
you
linebacker.
hope you're wrong on.
Oh, that I hope I'm wrong on. Jordan Morgan would be a great one. That would be a great one. Just takes over for Rashid and ends up in the green. That'd be super awesome.
I kind of also hope I'm wrong on Nate Hobbs. I hope Nate Hobbs comes in
That'd be
is just,
sick.
fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be
I don't think there's any shred of a chance that happens, but
I don't think he'll join like well, like, I think he could join Sheed, perhaps. But
Ayers keeps talking about Walker, and I keep thinking
Yeah.
he means Rashid Walker, but he means Quay
know.
Walker.
right.
I think this is about right. So you got let's see, I said Kenny
Said
Clark,
Clark.
and Nate Hobbs. You said Jordan Morgan. Who's your other guy you hope you're
Morgan.
wrong on? Like Anthony Belton would sure be nice to.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's wrong yet. He's a rookie. If in a year we're still there, then it's kind of like, well, yeah, I hope I'm. But Jordan Morgan feels good. Ooh, I know. I got a great one. Go to the top. I hope I'm wrong about where I would have put Love.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And I'm really I
hope I'm wrong about where I would put Love right now. That'd be
I would
sick.
make you I'd make you a bet actually that Jordan Love is where I have him, not where you have him.
Okay. What do we got?
Because you said Jordan Love for you is like here, right?
Probably. Yeah.
And I'm saying he is like right here. Okay, like almost all the
Right
way in
there.
all pro.
The puzzle piece is almost the like
just dipping
close
a toe
puzzle
into
piece
it.
deal. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Which if you're listening to audio only, this is a bad episode to do audio only.
Oh,
if you're doing audio only,
I'm sorry.
and you're like, so you're saying he's got a
sorry.
toe into elite? Yeah, because elite is lower than all pro. So we're saying he's almost all the way in all pro, but there's a toe that's still in elite instead of all pro.
Yeah.
Ayers wants it to be known that Edgerrin Cooper is higher.
Okay.
All right. Let the record show that Ayers is a huge Edgerrin
I mean,
Cooper.
I don't mind that. I could put him in green and I'd feel okay. I'd feel very okay about it.
Drew said next year Jordan Love is going to have his own category. Here's the thing.
That
That could be good or bad.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't think a year from now we're going
Back to the uranium well.
A year from now, Jake, would you say 1 year from now
Yeah, what's up?
that there's any conceivable reality where we would, if we had like a Hall of Fame tier, that there's any player other than Jordan Love who could possibly be
Zach Tom.
in that? I just feel like he's just been like the body of work is. I just don't know a year from now if the body of work is going to be enough for us to say like Hall of Fame. At right tackle,
Don't care which
move him to
tackle
left
position.
tackle, and I'm sold. Move him to left
I mean,
tackle, and I'm sold.
Sure, but I don't care which tackle position.
Ayers wants to know where we could have McKinney a year from now. A year from now, I think. Okay, so like
I think he could be as
I
low
wanted
as Green.
him in as low as Green, as high as like maybe All Pro,
Yeah.
but I don't know that I think he's gonna.
May I say, I would like to. I think the elite category has made me put only one guy in All Pro because I think we placed McKinney before we made this elite tier, and so I think he was again a guy who I had closer to.
I'm not
the
taking
top
Love out
than
of
the
All
bottom.
Pro.
No, you don't have to.
If you want to take McKinney out and put him in elite, I'm okay with that.
yeah, that's fine. And then for me, it'd be only one guy at the top. As I said, I had two on our initial tiers that were up there. So
If the O line does
is
their
this-
job, this
I
year,
mean, this should be really good, guys. Period.
and if the wide receivers get their heads out of their you-know-whats, I think Jordan Love is going
I
to
wish
be
Watson could.
solidly in the MVP discussion for the entire season.
And I think a lot of that could come from our guy Mac and
Colton?
Cheese up here. You know
Oh,
what I'm
Tucker
saying?
Kraft, yeah.
So
I got no problem with that.
yeah.
Moving McKinney down to elite from all pro feels better. This feels better. Having
Yeah.
4 guys in elite and only 2 in all pro feels better.
Yeah. Or 5-1, as they might say.
Yeah, we could do 5. fine
No.
with
If anything, we're moving Wheelan up there to the promised land.
I got no problem with moving Wheelan up there, but I lean toward Devontae Wyatt as well. I'm not doing it, but I'm leaning it. I got no problem with putting. So we said like top 6, right, for Wheelan for punter,
I think he's in that
That's-
6 to 8 range. Yeah, that's where I would see
which
him right
is
now.
which is
like
great, not elite.
Yeah, probably. Because AJ Cole, really, that guy is at the top. Michael
There's some
Dixon.
There's
Michael
some
Dixon.
good punters in the league,
There are.
and most of the really good punters are former Packers. Did you notice that? Every time you look at those lists,
Yeah,
and you see-
Bohorquez continues to be really good. Of
Freaking
course, after he
J.K.
leaves.
Scott
Scott was excellent.
continues to be
Yeah.
great. Continues to be
Yeah.
great. It pissed me
Such a
off to no
pain.
end that we cut
Such a
J.K.
pain.
Scott. And then we cut Corey Bohorquez, and I just lost my mind. I'm like,
JJ, is there a common denominator with those punters?
Yeah.
Can't be, right?
yeah, crappy special teams units, crappy special teams coaches.
Well, a certain
A
player,
team that doesn't prioritize special teams players. Yeah.
a certain player who's involved in the exchange, perhaps.
Ayers says we gave up on Scott too soon. That is so true. And the
It's tough to
narratives,
watch.
the fan narratives,
The
and I blame the
true
YouTubers and the
howitzer, bro.
podcasters. The fan narratives around J.K. Scott were so stupid. They were the football IQ surrounding the discussions that were had around J.K. Scott. The football IQ was not even room temperature. It was so dumb.
Yes.
Oh, look at the net punting yards. Do you hear yourself? Like
That's a
even
coverage unit, too. Coverage unit got to do stuff for net punting yards, too. Know what I'm saying?
And then people griping about J.K. Scott as a tackler. That was when my eyes started to twitch. Do you remember that? People
I don't,
complaining
but
about
that's
J.K.
so
Scott as
funny.
a tackler.
That's so funny.
Oh, it made me so mad.
Because they watched
It
Pat
was
McAfee hit
dumbest.
stick a guy once. Oh, he's such a bad tackler. Yeah, you see some punters one of them got kicked in the face once.
Well, and it was also a
Yeah.
clip of an old clip of Mason Crosby making a tackle too, and that kept making the rounds too.
Oh, and the one where he
'cause-
forced the fumble.
Yeah, and
as
you know
well.
what this all came from? First of all, J.K. Scott, I think there were only 2 plays where people wanted him to make a tackle, and he tried and failed to make a tackle. And I kept it made me so mad. Why in the world do you care if your punter can make a tackle? How about there's 10 other guys on the field, of course, supposed to make sure. You know who doesn't have to do any tackling? Most punters in the NFL.
Correct.
Most punters in college football too. Punters don't have to make a lot of tackles.
Correct.
You got to be on a pretty crappy special teams unit for us to care whether you're a good tackler as a punter.
Yeah.
People were trashing McKinney when there was that long run just because he was the last guy to stop it but couldn't. Yeah, true. People are stupid, is what it is. All right, Jake. I feel like we have beaten this list to death. I think that's about all she wrote.
Yep.
So we'll have to screenshot this, revisit it. Oh, I don't know, halfway through the season, and then at the end of the season, and
we'll
see what
enrich
we're
some
thinking.
uranium halfway through.
Who are you the most excited to move out of enriched uranium?
I mean,
There's
for-
only one correct answer.
I think like most excited, no, but like ready to do so is Cooper, but most excited is Wicks. I mean, no shade to Oladapo, but Wicks is. I would love to move him out of there. Like Cooper's kind of like being nudged out the door already, but like Wicks would just love for him to just kind of break the door down. Essentially, that would be excellent to see.
It's Wicks for me too. I mean, it's not. It's such an easy answer.
Yeah,
But the guy who moves it, the needle the most, if it happens, like the guy who should be celebrating the most if it works out, is Van Ness, obviously.
Yeah, if it happens, certainly.
But I'll be really excited to move Wicks out of there when it happens. Not if, when.
Yeah. You know who else we should be excited about, JJ? Is Mr. Ed Policy. We should be very excited about him. Because next Monday is Ed Policy Day. We deemed the last Monday in June Ed Policy Day. It's close enough to the 4th. You can get your party started early, right? If you're kind of like a little hesitant about it, whatever. Or another excuse to break out the grill, to break out, crack some cold redacted energies. I brought a canned water just because there were leftover stuff from boating this past weekend, but like break it all out. Summer, especially for like us, the Midwesterners, the Packer fans, right? This is your time. It's late June. Break it out if you haven't already, right? We shouldn't have to tell
we
you.
are sick and tired
We shouldn't
of
have to tell you.
late June being Chicago Bears season.
Yeah.
All right.
No more. They don't get to
We
celebrate
are
in the off
claiming.
season either. It's our time.
You guys can
Okay.
have March, all right? Enjoy your March, Chicago Bears. But we're taking June back because it's Ed Policy Week.
Yeah. Ed Policy Week and America Week. Love that. Okay? So do that next week, Monday. And we're going to be checking in. We're going to be checking in.
We're going to do it
because we're going to be here.
We're going to be here Monday night, 7:15 Lambeau time, not Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Okay? So you show up Tuesday night, you can watch, but you're going to be
Maybe
watching
I'll
a
make
24-hour-old live stream recording. And, you know, unless you have a time travel thing, we can't react to your comments. So, sorry.
Maybe I'll
be here Monday, June 30th, 7:15, Ed Policy Day. Bring your beer, bring your beverage, bring your grilled meats, bring your smoked cheeses, bring your green and yellow fireworks, bring your Ed Policy mask, bring your State Farm insurance policy, whatever you need to bring.
Fam.
We are going to celebrate in style.
Yep.
We're going to have a good time. In the words of the late, great Mr. Ed Policy himself, just in time for Ed Policy Day. Go, Pack, go.